Chlorophyll.
Okay. So when I drink my coffee and you call it iodine, you meant to call it iodine, you mistakenly called it chloroform, and then now now it's chlorophyll. It's the shit that plants use to grow.
I don't know. More chlorophyll, more like chlorophyll. That's a Billy Madison quote.
I remember
I watched that movie way too much.
Oh, okay. I've only seen it a few times.
Yeah, I remember when Adam Sandler used to be funny too. Don't at me.
Oh man, did you see Scott Dracula in the chat? He says best things come when you wait for the catch-up. And for a minute, I thought he meant we are the catch-up, like because like we're slow to get here. We're always a few minutes late, but it's good when it gets here. It's good because like you've waited for it, and finally when it gets here, it delivers. I thought he was comparing us to the catch-up, but then I realized he said best things come when you wait for the catch-up. So while you're waiting for the catch-up, that's when the best things come. I
don't know, but you look like ketchup.
Oh, well, I guess we should start the shows to let everyone in on the joke that I'm in the 7th layer of hell.
Let us go.
Let's go. This is PSVR GameScast Live, where we film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and 2 Wise Friday right here on Without Parole. We do it 6 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube for your viewing pleasure. We also do some podcast services of your choice, thanks to our good friend RyPop, and timestamps are added to this thing after the fact, thanks to our good friend Sci-Fi Gamecat Henry. My name's Brian Paul from this channel right here, PSVR Without Parole, and this gentleman over here to my left, you're right, it is, oh shit, I was about to read the name tag and the name tag's wrong. You're not Miles, I forgot to change it from Friday's show. It's AJ from the Underground. PSVR Underground. Damn it.
What is up? Beelzebub loves you all. Dude, yeah, I love this. You should just go with it and just say like, yeah, you're doing this because of spooky season and whatnot. Because it looks right, and you know.
Welcome to Brian Paul's Sex Dungeon.
Whoa.
1-900. I wonder what the sex operators would say on the Brian Paul Sex Dungeon hotline. Probably like, I see you like VR. Do you have prescription lenses?
Lots of cats meowing in the background.
I mean, you're turning a wholesome thing into something perverted, AJ.
What is up, man? What is up, Game Cats? Happy spooky season as it continues. We are dead center in the middle of it right now, and it's been great, man. I know that Mondays usually suck, but we are here, Brian, to ensure their Monday sucks. Just a little bit less.
I was a little early on that. We got Mustang Sally. No, Mustang 750R.
Mustang Sally.
With the $1 tip, it's just an emoji with sunglasses. Thank you very much. We appreciate you kicking off the stream with a little positivity. Javiously? I mean, Javiously, AJ. Javiously.
I mean, duh, Javiously.
Yep. With the $5 tip says, I beat Propagation over the weekend. Love those Resident Evil style puzzles. Shout out to the baseball picture puzzle in particular. More of that, please. Man, it is so ridiculous when I watch other people play this game, and it just goes completely differently than how it went for me. I was in that room for 15 minutes trying to solve a puzzle, and and I was being sneaky and stealthy, and I was trying not to make any noise, and I watched Miles play on his stream, and he just goes in and just kills everybody and then solves the puzzles in 5 seconds, and I'm like, I guess that's a way to do it too.
Yeah, no, I did kill everything first. By the way, yeah, Javiously is correct. Propagation Paradise Hotel is awesome. Shout out to Wannadev Studio for giving us such a damn good game. Yeah. And yeah, man, if you're a fan of Resident Evil, It's got a lot of Resident Evil vibes. It's like Resident Evil in a hotel instead of a mansion. Slight little plot twist or whatever, but yeah, fantastic game. Super polished, super fun, super scary. And yeah, even though I usually hate puzzles, I did like the puzzles in that because first of all, there was very few, and secondly, they were like cool. They were cool and creative, and they mixed up, you know, the gameplay with it, with some of the scares, and like they blended it all together really well. And I like those. Sadly, like the puzzles in Resident Evil are why I had a hard time getting into Resident Evil back in the day. Like it was hard for me to push through those because even though it was a fun game, like every time I hit a puzzle, I was like, like here we go, I got to figure this out again and whatever. But
man, I can't wait until. Wait, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything because
what?
No.
If you're talking about Resident Evil 4, no. Resident Evil 4 is definitely,
nope.
I like the some of the pacing and stuff of the old school Resident Evils, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy 4 for like that pure action adventure style and less puzzles.
Yeah, and I think 4 will translate really well to VR because I think VR is a place that you want to, when you're in there, you don't want to be just staring at a wall and going, what am I supposed to do here? I mean, it's fun occasionally, and I do think Propagation had the best balance of it, where it's tense because, and this is very much a Resident Evil trope, it's tense because there are zombies everywhere, and they could just, some of them just laying on the ground, you could just get up, whatever, and so you've got to backtrack a lot, and every time you're like, oh shit, I have to go to the other side of the map again, it's terrifying because you're like, I gotta step over all of these zombies, and if they're gonna reanimate, so it's less about the puzzles.
They're gonna pop up. Yeah.
For me, it was less about the puzzles and more about what the puzzles made you do, which was backtrack and be terrified of those zombies all over again. Because otherwise you'd just be like, just move forward, grab octopuses on the way and run. But yeah, Propagation was awesome. And dude, the sad thing is that I'm pretty sure Wanted Dev Studio is really small, and I feel like we're going to be waiting a while for the sequel. But
that's okay. It's a really good game in the meantime.
Yeah, I hope it sells well. Hope Propagation sells well, and I hope that they just kind of focus on Propagation titles for the foreseeable future. Ragnarok was fine. This was incredible.
Go out and buy Propagation. Support good games, please.
Yeah, for the love of God. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine when you bitch about bad games, people, as long as you're buying the good ones.
Yeah.
Slapping that ass with a $3 tip. Has a little. How's it going? It's going well. How's it going with you? Slapping that ass.
Great, man. I'm having honestly the best October I think ever.
Yeah.
Between all the scary movies I've been watching, between all the scary games I've been trying to play. Well, mainly just Propagation. I mean, a great brand new scary game, which is awesome. That is few and far between. And then, this weekend I went to Fright Fest at Six Flags, and it was awesome, man. Six Flags over Georgia, dude, they do Fright Fest right. Like, it's not Bugs Bunny with some vampire teeth running around, taking pictures of the kids. Like, they had legit, like, scary looking costumes, and like they were not only like scaring people, but they were like targeting the children that were afraid the most, and I absolutely loved it. I was like, damn, Six Flags. Like, they were literally stalking those who were the most scared, and I loved it so much.
So while you're talking about this, do you want me to put up the pictures that you sent me?
No.
Everybody,
those pictures are for you only.
Listen, everybody. I saw what was under the beanie. You're not going to believe it. It's
a werewolf.
It's electronics and it's futuristic.
Yep. The mysteries of the universe shall remain mysteries.
Alien technology, people. The next iPhone comes from underneath the beanie.
But yeah, man, no, it was an absolute blast. And I told you something about the haunted houses. I did the Saw X attraction which was basically just like walking through and watching people get tortured a bunch. And it was okay, but man, that the Carnival of Chaos, the going through the end of that, spoiler alert, it was like walking through 2 blow up fun houses or whatever, like, and like you feel like you're gonna suffocate. And I'm like, how is this even legal? Like, has nobody been hurt from this? Because it was crazy.
Yeah. When you were describing the attraction, I was like, this sounds so familiar, and I had been through something. It sounds like identical to it, and it was really scary. Yeah, it's just like you're basically being suffocated by 2 giant rubber inflatable things, and they get the air flowing so heavy in there, like just blasting the air, which it must be something they have to do to keep people from losing their shit, right? To keep people from thinking that they're not able to breathe or something. But man, that is scary. Like, I mean,
it was legitimately kind of like freaky.
Yeah, like I'd be scared if like an older person was going through and like just didn't have the strength to get through it, or like I mean, like
I had to use a lot of strength to push that apart and get through it.
And I'm like I
was like, yeah, like grandma's not getting through here.
Like, I packed on a few pounds in the last few years, AJ, but like I watch TV, I go to Walmart, I see that there are people much bigger than me out in the world, and I can't imagine somebody like that getting through one of those. And so it just feels very restrictive as far as like who's able to get through it. And like there's no warning, right? There's no warning that says, hey, this is gonna be something in here might be an issue for you.
Yeah, there wasn't even a hey, go this way sign. So I was like am I walking like into like a giant fan cooling the building or something? Like, what is going on here? But it was so much fun, man. I love spooky season.
Yes.
And I feel like I've hopefully you guys are all as well celebrating and taking full advantage of this time, because it is the best time of year in my opinion.
Agreed. I absolutely love this time of year, and it's been kind of a bummer the last couple of years because with PSVR 1 sort of on its way out, we didn't really get much in the way of scary games the last couple of years. This year we seem to have plenty. There's been a bunch of bad horror movies come out, but it also seems like there's a bunch of, whether they turn out to be good or not, a bunch of ones that I'm interested in watching. So like I'm gonna be busy one way or another watching and playing games and movies, and with any luck I can get out to Witch's Woods, which is one of the cooler attractions near me, at least for a night. So
nice. Yeah, I'm ready for some more VR horror games though, because Propagation Paradise Hotel was a great reminder that how freaking scary and tense they can be. Just VR just elevates horror games so well. So sucks for people that don't like horror games, but man, is it good for those that do.
Okay. Absolutely. A couple more tips, and then we're going to get right into some Gamecat name changes. Let's see here. We've got Matster Gamecatster. What's up, dude? $20 tip. Hopefully everything's going well with you, man. Recovering and back to work and all of that. He says, hello, Brian, AJ, and all my Gamecat brothers and sisters. I'm glad to be back. He died. Did you know that? And now, and after 3 days, he rose.
Nice.
Matster Gamecatster is the next Jesus.
It's like Altered Beast.
I'm trying to get canceled right now. Do you think it's working? Rise from your grave.
It happened a long time ago.
Nick Hur with the Australian $3 tip says nothing, and then he says again with another $3 tip, says I want a VR. Oh boy, I want a VR birth simulator. I miss my mom. That'll distract people from the Jesus comment, won't it? Dude, I mean, like VR is still kind of in its infancy. It's only mainstream VR is only about 7-8 years old, and it's and I have a very strange feeling we're gonna see a lot of fucking crazy shit over the next 10 years, and I would not be surprised if this was one of them. Who doesn't want to be a fetus, AJ? I mean, I'm sure lots of people don't want to be a fetus. I don't want to be a fetus. While it is now Gamecat, specifically a White Tiger, with the Canadian $2 tip, says, per your sources, ballpark max VR2 game unit sales. Okay, those are per your sources, which we have none. Ballpark max PlayStation VR2 game unit sales. So how?
game.
So the question is, I don't know if the question is how many headsets has PSVR2 sold, or what's the rough number of games on average, or what are sales like for PSVR2 games? I guess he's asking, and that's something that Sony doesn't really let out. And when we hear them about specific titles, we can't tell you that, because then you'll know where we got our data from, and then so will Sony. So I can't really say it. The one thing I'll tell you is that at this point, I mean, it seems like PSVR2 should have sold upwards of 1 million units by now.
Yeah.
And I don't know, AJ, do you think that's something Sony would want to celebrate? Do you think that's something they would want to get out there, especially considering the narrative that, like, you know, the false narrative, of course, because Quest has never fucking said their sales figures. But the narrative out there is that Quest 2 has sold 15 million units. And so saying, hey, we've got 1 million sold of PSVR 2, it kind of makes it look bad, doesn't it?
I mean, not really. I think they said because they came out and they said it's selling, you know, this was like in the first 6 weeks, it sold 600,000 units. That came from Sony, and They said that it was selling like a certain percentage higher than PSVR 1 was. So it's actually doing pretty well, but it's a similar kind of thing where, yeah, it hasn't sold it's selling faster than PSVR 1, but it's still not, I don't think, doing like, you know, as well as it could have, with some maybe better marketing, some different timing, you know, lots of different things. So it's like you said, man, it's still very early, and there's plenty of time to really get this thing going. I don't think, you know, I mean, PSVR did well, but it wasn't until I think the first 2 years, and this was similar with Quest 2 as well. After that 2-year mark, when they start getting like, you know, some big IPs dropping, some big games, some better marketing going, like those things really start taking off. But yeah, I'm with you. I think it's somewhere around the million units sold mark, is somewhere around there, maybe a little bit less, a little bit more, and you know, as per like sources and stuff, like you said, we can't say any numbers, we can't say any, you know, specific developers. But what I do know is that the ones that have, you know, there's been some developers that have said like it's selling, like they sold really, really, really well, and like really well. So it is definitely when something sells on PSVR 2, there's enough for the game to do well, for sure. There's enough of an established audience for it to be successful already.
Yeah, and Waleed follows it up with another Canadian $2 and says, "Don't name developers or games, just average number of game units." It's wildly different depending on the title. So, you know, we could tell you that one of them sold 200,000, and then we tell you that another one sold 10,000, and it's like, well, that doesn't help anybody with anything. And plus, you know, I would say only a handful at best of developers have revealed sales figures to us, to me anyway. I don't know about AJ, and so I don't have enough stats to go in and start saying, well, on average, sorry, sirens on my end, on average, this is how much PSVR 2 games are selling. It's very anecdotal evidence that we have. So my apologies that we can't kind of help you out further with that information. Andrew Ehrenreich, which I think I've got right, $2 tip, says, "Finished Resident Evil 8 today. First time, amazing experience. Hell yeah. Everything else is a letdown from here on out."
No.
Not true.
Resident Evil Village was incredible and is definitely an example of why we need more AAA hybrid games. And Resident Evil 4 should hold us over for a while until the next one is announced.
I hope so. And in fact, you know, I think that this holiday season, being PSVR 2's first holiday season, could be really impactful. If Sony does any marketing whatsoever for this thing, I think it could be really impressive. People go, oh, I own Village. I own Resident Evil 4. These are two of my favorite games ever made. And now if I just buy a headset, I can play them in VR. That's pretty cool. I'm going to pick up Gran Turismo 7 while I'm at it. I think with just the right kind of marketing, the PSVR 2 could have an amazing holiday. But we shall see. I mean, dude, it's amazing that it's done.
I'm not holding my breath for Sony's marketing here.
For sure. But with 1 million sold with like practically no marketing. I mean, that says something, I think.
Yeah, for considering what the no marketing and no controlling of the messaging, just all the stuff working against it. Like, they definitely, it's definitely impressive that they still managed to even sell 1 million after that.
Yeah,
really could have been much worse.
All right, man. Considering that tips are still rolling in and that we're never going to get the show on the road, otherwise, let's backburner a couple of these and head on over to the same thing we do every Monday, Pinky, and that is a little shout out to some specific cats out there. Right?
That's right, Brian. We would like to try and take over the world with those who support us in another way by changing your name to something Gamecat, something Gamecat related, or something Gamecat adjacent, as you at something Gamecat adjacent like to say. And this week we have 3 new Gamecats. Welcome to the Gamecat Dojo.
How many people out there that actually know like karate and kung fu are offended by that? They're like, Brian, that's not a martial arts move. What are you doing with that? Also, that's really probably racially insensitive.
I don't know where you're going with this. That makes no sense, Brian, but that's okay because
trying to get canceled.
Sorry, you're trying really hard.
If I get canceled, I'll have at least a week off before I issue my apology video, and then people will accept me again.
Nobody's gonna cancel you, Brian.
Oh man, how am I gonna get a week off?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
you're gonna have to find another way because. That would have happened a long time ago, my friend.
I've been trying.
First, we've got Random Toxie. How begin, Gamecat?
Bing! Oh, wait. Hold on a second. Apparently, when I move things around, I really screwed things up. There we go. Random Toxie, how begin, Gamecat? How begin? AJ? How begin?
I like how you're trying to get canceled and... you know, whatever, and instead you gain a membership from GundieGundie was game Catwetter.
You know why? Because people are sick of cancel culture, and they're like, "That's right, Brian, fight back, be insensitive, fucking tell them off, man. Fuck those liberal pricks."
Serial killer, the global game cat day.
Bing. This probably needs a little bit of explanation, as most serial killer name changes do. It's Global Cat Day. Did you know that? It's not even National Cat Day. It's Global Cat Day today, the 16th of October. Isn't that weird?
That was like last week.
That was probably National Cat Day.
I feel like all these people are not to be confused with Global Cat Day. Okay. I swear, man. Who comes up with this stuff? If it wasn't for Twitter, I wouldn't think there was a day that was like any national day. Like the only place I see this is Twitter, and Twitter isn't real. So,
by the moon and the stars and the sky, sun.
Finally, last but certainly not least, Brian, we've got Undead Brondo Cat.
Bing. I'm not sure if Undead Brondo Cat is dead or alive. I'm unsure. He's unsure. Just be very cautious when stepping over him in the hallway. That's all I got to say. And if you don't have a shotgun,
undead plants crave.
There you go. Very nice, guys. If you change your name to Gamecat because you love us almost as much as we love you, make sure you put hashtag Gamecat in the comments below any of the Without Parole videos, and that way we can find you. And AJ will give you a shout out on next week's show. Thank you very much for all of the constant love out there. I don't know if you saw the newest John Mulaney special where he talks about like rehab and his divorce and stuff. He doesn't talk about his divorce, but he mentions it. But he talks about rehab and shit. And he starts it off by saying, "I'll be fine as long as I get constant attention." And that just goes through my head all the time. And I was like, I can't decide if that's the most Brian Paul thing in the world or the least Brian Paul thing in the world. But I've gone back and forth on it multiple times over the last month. I don't know. I don't know what kind of persona I put out there, so I don't know what you guys out there believe. But I usually just want to hide under the blankets. It's going to be one or the other.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's tackle a couple more tips before we really get into this sucker. Let's see here. Javiously with the $5 tip.
Javiously,
AJ. It says, Death Stranding VR when? I want to look down At the BB on my chest while hiking up a ghost-filled mountain. The game is begging for the VR treatment, to be honest. I think it'd be pretty fucking cool to play Death Stranding VR with a haptic vest. And now I've been someone that's always been kind of against haptic vest. I don't want to wear yet another thing when playing VR. However, if there was some way for like to kind of like vibrate on your back or something, can the vest be worn backwards? Does it have vibration in the back? I want some kind of feedback to know when shit that I'm carrying is falling. That's how because I want to do it in first person.
Headset rumble.
See, Barb Zarkov understands me. Barb Zarkov in the chat says, Brian's like a cat. He wants attention until you give it to him, and then he'll bite you. See, these guys understand me. Wally is now Gamecast, specifically White Tiger. No, we already read that one. Super cool video, bro. With the $2 tip says, Vertical Robot ruined my experience with other games. Yeah, I mean, that happened to a lot of people. We expected, really great frame rates and really great resolutions. And luckily Propagation delivered that.
Yeah. I don't think they ruined my experience of other games, but they certainly set a standard, kind of raised the bar a little bit, because it proved that, hey, these games, look what these games should be looking like in some degree. And it's a game by game basis, because sometimes it's just I don't want to hold a developer, a one-man team, to the standards of a team that has mega funding and like a 25 to 100 person studio. It's like, sometimes it's okay for a game to be, have lower production values, but at this point it is starting to seem like, look, like, why doesn't every game have foveated rendering and whatnot? It's like, these developers might need to start pushing some of these games back.
And that's the weird part about it. That was sort of the curveball that Vertical Robot threw us, was that they're a super crazy small dev team, and they still managed to put out decently length games with great production values, amazing visuals, amazing audio, and just unforgettable experiences. Like it has definitely raised the bar. It hasn't ruined other games for me. I'm with you on that, AJ, but it has definitely raised the bar in terms of what we expect. Yeah.
Especially when a game's coming out with like all this marketing push from Sony and stuff, and it's like, well, why aren't you supporting these little guys that are actually delivering like big time a little bit more, because nobody at Sony tests them or cares, is the answer.
that might be the case.
No, that's not true. It's not true. I'm just kidding.
Let's see. GundieGundie, wie das Gamecat Wetter. With the level 1 membership. Congratulations on becoming a member. I'm going to do one more tip, and then we'll backburner these again for a little bit. Planet Schlorpian with the $5 tip says, I pulled an AJ. Oh, this can't be good. And bought a Quest 3. I don't want my PSVR2 to collect dust now. Vertigo 2 may make me jump back in. Yeah, I mean, so listen, if you're a huge VR gamer, I'm sure.
What does that have to do with me?
I don't know.
I failed to draw the connection. I don't have a Quest 3.
I think he thinks he screwed up.
What did I screw up?
Every game with 20 questions.
Are you calling me a screw up?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Give me your mom's phone number. I have a few things I need to talk to her about.
I play lots of PSVR2. Chris Forthenberry says, you guys seem to bash Sony every single podcast. Yeah.
I mean,
this is true.
If you're not,
at least I do.
Listen. If you're not bashing Sony, then you've got standards that are extremely low, because they have not done. They're not the Sony of the past. They have 20 plus first party studios. We barely know what any of them are working on. They're not getting games out, and they're really relying on third party developers to push PS5. The PlayStation 5 Slim just got announced. It was sort of embarrassing, to be honest with you. It didn't lower the price as a Slim should. In fact, it actually raised the price in certain regards. I mean, it just seems like they're making lots and lots of bad moves, but it's paying off for them. So, like, I don't know. Like, I bash Sony because I think they have a lot of work to do. We want the PlayStation of the PS3 era back. Like Sony of the PS3 era was Sony in top form.
The end of the PS3 era, and that's the thing too.
Halfway
Like,
through,
you know,
yeah.
we give tons of praise to, obviously. Like, I mean, the PSVR2 is an amazing headset. I bash, you know, some of their stuff, but in all honesty, I think they do amazing things. And yeah, I actually find myself saying lots of good things about them and their products too. I mean, that's why we're a PSVR2 exclusive channel, is because we love this thing so much. But the truth is, yeah, there's things we can nitpick left and right, up and down, that we want to be better. We want to see be better, and these are things that can happen, and that's why we talk about them. But yeah, sometimes I joke, sometimes I really am frustrated and angry. It's all over the place, but at the end of the day, I freaking love my PSVR2. I play it every single day. I spend hours with it. And I'm very, very happy with it. That being said, I still want to see it do better. Always. It doesn't matter how well it's doing.
Yeah. Very, very, very frequently, we get frustrated because, not because, maybe not even because Sony is doing a bad job, but maybe because we want Sony to do better, because we do love, and especially like in the past, we've loved what they've done so much. And so, a lot of people give us a lot of shit. Like, a lot of people give us a lot of shit that cannot be, that cannot be overstated or understated. For not covering Quest games, for not covering PC VR games when PlayStation VR was essentially dead. But why did we do it, AJ? Because we fucking love PlayStation VR, and we simply were not passionate about the other headsets and about what was happening on other in other ecosystems. And so, I think if you see a channel like this and we're just blindly throwing love at Sony and not recognizing their faults, well, then we're not doing ourselves or you guys or Sony any favors. So I'm really happy where we've kind of fallen, where we're able to say, yes, we love this, but also able to recognize the faults that come along with it. And we want Sony to do better. That's all.
And also keep up the great work, Sony. Can't wait to see who the next CEO is.
Yeah. Nihilus Ryan, the Game Feeling with the $5 tip, says, congratulations in advance in hitting 100,000 subs, Brian. So close now. Thank you, Nihilus Ryan. What are we at? We're like less than 200 away. Is that where we're at? It's crazy. It's crazy. It hasn't really sunken in yet. And
yeah, I saw Rody saying 200. Yeah, like less than 200 away. That is crazy.
Yep. So you guys, this has been a long road, and you guys are fucking incredible. So thank you so much for being on this with us. I've said it 1,000 times, and I don't think I can, and I don't think I can say it enough. But I have you guys to thank for this. So many people say, congratulations, you've done a great job, and I was like, but it's you guys. You guys are the ones that made it happen. So thank you very, very much for being here and just being a part of this like crazy journey that I've been on. This leg of my life was completely unexpected, and I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to be here with you guys, and especially thrilled to be here with AJ and Miles and Wes. We've developed great friendships over the years, and such a great crew. I don't think I could have asked for a better group of people to be doing this with. So thank you, AJ, very much.
Thank you, man. It's been a fun ride, and plenty more years to come.
Frosted Behemoth Cat with a $10 tip says, y'all got me watching Watcher. I've been stuck on that channel all weekend. Okay, listen, we need to talk about Watcher for just a second, and then we're going to move on to our first story, because I know AJ will appreciate this. I know some people in the chat will appreciate this. On Amazon, and this is not where most people, I'm sure, discovered the show, but there was a show called BuzzFeed's Unsolved Supernatural, and it starred Ryan Bergera and Shane Madej, and they were I mean, the least traditional ghost hunters you've ever seen in your life, right? One of them is terrified. I think he's just like how I would act if I was on ghost hunts. Every single noise is a ghost, terrified at everything, ready to run out the building at a moment's notice. That's Ryan. And then Shane is he doesn't believe whatsoever. And so he provides a little bit of comic relief and just kind of points at Ryan and laughs a little bit. But they do take the investigation seriously. And so this was a BuzzFeed thing, and it went for like 6-7 seasons, and it was great. And then they disappeared. They left BuzzFeed to do their own thing. And then they just fell off my radar. And then earlier this week or last week, I found their YouTube channel. It's called Watcher. And dude, they have like 3 million subscribers. And they've got so many episodes of the same type of ghost hunting thing that they've done. But it's so much better than what they were doing on BuzzFeed. They obviously have a way bigger budget. They've hired a big crew. Like, they are killing it over on YouTube. So shout out to Watcher. Not that, they give a fuck what we think. But like, I am a huge fan of both Shane and Ryan. I love their BuzzFeed stuff, and I'm so happy that I found their Watcher channel. And they do a ton of other stuff too. If like ghost hunting isn't your thing, they're a very cool duo, and I'll watch them do pretty much anything. Yep. All right, AJ, we'll get back to tips in just a little bit here. Let's tackle a viewer takeover question. Triple R El Guapo Game Gato. Now, guys, don't forget that you can leave your viewer takeover questions over on our Discord if you want to make sure you're part of the show. Leave a good question over there, and if it's good enough, we'll include it in the show. Right, hashtag viewer takeover. With it being Friday the 13th, oops, this one's a little late, AJ. And all the PSVR 1 and PSVR 2 spooky games that have been released over the years. Which games are top on your list to play this month and why? Friday the 13th.
Well,
the PS4 one. Wait, so is he just talking about VR games?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, that's all we really play anyways, right? So I mean, that's all we can answer with.
I mean, I've been in a pretty good habit of when I go to bed, I take my Steam Deck with me, or I take my my Win 3 GPD. And so I've been playing some flat screen stuff before bed, but still mostly retro, some Vampire Survivors, nothing crazy though. But what's your response to this?
Well, I've had a great start with Propagation Paradise Hotel, which we can't stop gushing about because it's just so fantastic and a perfect game to kick off your spooky season. Highly recommend it. Go buy it right now. But there's lots of stuff, honestly, I mean, I'm really excited about, I'm really interested in Foglands because, and some of the stuff this month is not even necessarily have to do with Halloween, and some of it is, or spooky season, because there's just a lot of games coming on the horizon. I mean, stuff like Vertigo 2, Madison VR, Phasmophobia, it's a mix. I'm just looking forward to playing the best games, regardless of really what genre they are. I don't really care what genre. I just want to play the best games that are coming out, and that's what I'm most excited about.
Nice.
Hopefully that is like the ones that aforementioned, like Madison, Vertigo, Foglands, Phasmophobia. Who knows if like half of these, like Phasmophobia, we haven't even heard anything from yet. Who knows if these are even coming out like this month, but I'm still excited about all of them. Even like, I guess I'll try Ghostbusters, although I don't have a really good feeling about that one.
Yeah, I'm excited about Ghostbusters. My fear of Ghostbusters is onefold. Is that getting you, Wes, and Miles together for 5 minutes to play a couple doubles matches in tennis on court was a challenge. And you guys are the ones that I want to go through Ghostbusters VR with. And so I really, really fucking hope that we manage to find some kind of schedule, the four of us, to go through that game together and, in a very short amount of time, obviously, to review it properly. And so that's my biggest concern with Ghostbusters, not so much the quality of the game, is getting to play it with the people that I want to play it with in a timely manner. And so fingers crossed for that. We'll see what happens. As far as VR goes, though, I am, I'm very excited about Phasmophobia, obviously, and I've got the same issue with Phasmophobia that I do with Ghostbusters. You guys are my crew. I want to play with you guys, so we'll see if we're able to do that. But I will say, as far as non-VR goes, a lot of people might be familiar with a game called Rule of Rose that was on PlayStation 2. It's like infamously, like ridiculously expensive, and I've just been wanting to get through it. I'm pretty sure I played it like back when it came out, but again, heavy drinker in the old days. I don't remember much of the games that I was playing or anything else, so it's all gonna feel new to me. I think I'm gonna get through that game this month on PlayStation 2. It was actually, I want to say it was developed by Sony themselves, and but they didn't release it in the States because it was a little controversial, and Atlas published it here instead. So that's a game I think I'll be going through. Master Gamecaster asks if I ever went through Salem State Horror Night. No, I didn't. I haven't. Which is a little surprising to me because I went to college up near Salem, so that's surprising. Was this? Sorry, this was a viewer takeover question. I was wondering where I was on the news stories.
Yeah.
This makes sense.
You are a chatterbox today, man.
Yeah. I'm in an interesting mood, AJ, and I figured I'd share that with you and all the cats. Hopefully, somebody has a tranquilizer for when the show's over, because I don't think I'll be sleeping tonight with the way that I feel. All right, man. Let's talk a little bit about the games that are coming out this week, about the DLC that's coming out this week. We've got a lot of. This is actually a really we've got a great week ahead of us. And first game I think that we'll probably see will be tomorrow. It'll be. It looks like Box to the Beat should be out tomorrow. Please tell me you have any kind of interest in this whatsoever.
Hell no. Why would I have interest in this?
I don't know.
Absolutely not. I'd rather go play some more Creed or something good.
But AJ, the description of Box to the Beat says world bosses, global leaderboards, power-ups, arcade mode, epic gloves, pet dragons, free levels, and constant updates await you in Box to the Beat VR. Listen,
don't believe the lies.
Pet dragons is what sold you on Go Signal. Is Pet Dragons now not going to sell you on Box to the Beat?
That is correct.
Okay, well, this is coming out. The trailer that came out on the PlayStation YouTube channel says out now. So it obviously released a little bit early. We're expecting this game to come out tomorrow. I'm interested in checking it out. I could use a fitness game, and if it's got good music, then I'm totally down.
Brody says Galaxy Kart update is coming tomorrow. That's a bad game I can get behind.
Yep. So yeah, we can bounce around. That's on the list. Galaxy Kart, I'm super excited about.
Is it?
Yes. Oh, sorry. I don't. Oh, did you check? Are you using your email run of show or your Discord run of show?
Oh no, I was looking at the Discord one.
Nah. See, what are we gonna do with you? Yeah. So you guys should know that this is not the. I think you should know this is not the major update that we're waiting for. Like I know a lot of people are waiting for Galaxy Kart to deliver on the wheel support. So just to let you know, when wheel support gets here, the developers are going to include both forms of like driving with one hand and shooting with the other, which is what I want in every game, whether there's cars or not. And they're also going to let you just use the wheel and then push buttons on the wheel and aim with your head. So like however you want to play this, they're going to let you play it that way, but not with this patch. This patch will have all the courses unlocked right from the get-go. So if you're struggling unlocking those, that'll no longer be an issue. There's going to be a lot of game balancing that's gone on. It'll include in-game voice chat, finally, which is really nice. And then on top of that, there will be 2 new maps. And this is all free, a free update. And much needed, I think, because content was sorely missing from this game.
Yeah. And it's, it's not like a blow you away kind of game, but I don't know. It's fun for a little bit. At least for me, it was fun for a little bit and then moved on. Yep. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Now, if you guys, I see Distracted Gamecat in the chat here. It says, I want a better sense of speed, which people have complained about. Yeah, I think the sense of speed is okay. It's certainly one of the better ones that we've had in VR. I mean, if you didn't play the original VR carts on PSVR1, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But I will say that one of the great things about our Discord is that the developers hang out there and are listening. And so everybody in the Galaxy Kart channel has been saying, this is what we want for Galaxy Kart. Please deliver this. Please give us this. And they're like, we're listening. And so it sounds like they're interested in, like, you know, somebody said, we want tournaments, the option to like just do tournaments with a group of people. I was like, that's fucking awesome. And they were like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. And then we also found out that, hey, not only do they have 2 more tracks in the works beyond this to release in another month or so, but it sounds like we might even get 3 tracks when that update launches. And that might be the one with wheel support. So again, this is Galaxy Kart is a game that like I was just desperately hoping would get better, and it already has. And then this update should push it into the you should probably pick it up category if you want a good kart racer.
Yeah, we'll see. It's never going to hit the highs that I want it to, but it doesn't seem like it anyways. But, you know, at least it released, which is more than can be said about Dash World.
Dude, I don't think anyone's more shocked about Dash World than me, because those developers were in constant communication with me. You know, they were always giving me updates for everything we were doing. For April's PSVR AF, for the award show, they were like, oh, yeah, this is happening, and this is happening, and this is happening. And it seemed like up until the last minute that it was coming out to PSVR 1, and then they just went fucking silent. And I don't think many people have heard from them since. So really, really hoping that Dash isn't dead, because I do think Dash actually has better, a better artistic design than this game, and better track design. And so I think Galaxy Kart scored a win when Dash went MIA. Maybe. Yeah. So speaking of DLC, we've also got the Walkabout DLC called Widow's Walkabout.
Yay!
Now, I don't believe that they've come out with a trailer for this, so this will just
but they did have like a little, I think, couple clips of it on Twitter.
Yeah, very, very short clips, not very revealing. Yeah, I mean, you know, dude, Walkabout always kills it. That's what I'll say about that. Walkabout always kills it. And
Walkabout's the shit.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm assuming it's going to be $4 like the other DLC has been, you know, just going through, getting 2 courses, getting, you know, the day and the night one, or however they're going to do it with this one, all the balls to find, the club to unlock, and then just a new place to hang out and play mini golf with your friends. I mean, for me, it just doesn't get any better. $4. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Rob Axel in the chat says, does anyone else hate the game Runner?
Get out now.
He says, I hope Runner gets better.
How dare you, Rob Axel?
Oh, you know what? Hold on. So he says, I purchased Runner an hour ago and I'm not really liking it, but it was only $12. Rob, give it some more time, because I didn't fall in love with it right away. And the more time I spent with it, the more I liked it. Give it some time, and hopefully
I loved it right away, and it just got better and better.
Yeah, well, sorry. This may not be your experience, Rob. We've also got potentially, AJ, potentially Kill It With Fire. This was a rumor that I had heard on Friday before going live on Gamescast, and it seems like the more I look into it, the more this is happening. The Kill It With Fire VR is coming to PSVR2 potentially this week. Trophies are live. It did the whole thing like it does, like disappears from the PlayStation store for a second, then reappears. Like all the telltale signs are there. I got in touch with the developer, and he said I can neither confirm or deny, and I was like, that's fine by me. It's coming. And so if it's not out this week, it'll definitely be out soon. Do you have any interest in this?
No.
What?
Kill It With Fire?
You don't want to squish polygonal spiders with everything you find?
No.
Why?
I mean, look, I don't know how careful I should be here, but my assumption is that this is like shovelware crap.
What?
Is this an actual game?
Yes, it's a game that people really enjoy. On top of that,
really,
yeah, it was a flat screen game. It was it eventually became, I believe, a Quest game. And so, like, yeah, the VR version's been out for a little bit. I think it got really positive reception. Yep, I think I don't know how you know, what the progression's like. I don't know if they just say, okay, here's a big fucking sandbox, have at it, or if there's actual, you know, level objectives. So I'm very curious to see how this all works, but it does look very sandboxy. It does look like it's the type of game where you can pick up pretty much anything and use it as a weapon. And I really like that. So, and plus I'm terrified of spiders. Terrified, AJ. And so, so this might be a great October game for me, even though it doesn't on the surface look terribly scary.
It just reminds me, when I see the name and the concept, it reminds me of the, what was that game where like you were on PSVR early 2019?
You're early 2019.
Where you're like in the room and there's like cockroaches around the room or whatever.
Fear of bugs?
Yeah, fear of bugs.
Where you had to hold the tablet or whatever and not move, or you'd get a word. You're on crack. What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I haven't seen a trailer of this. You should have prepared me better.
What? You didn't even watch PSVR this week? What am I even making that show for? God damn.
For everyone else.
Wow. Amazing.
Oh.
Wes is in the chat. Wes, have you played Kill It with Fire on other VR platforms? Can you help us out here? Can you tell AJ, as always, how wrong he is?
Watch him say it sucks.
I mean, you know, I trust Wes's opinion unless it's about Wraith or After the Fall or most games. I mean, you know, listen, Wes loves Here They Lie, and man, if you haven't watched the Here They Lie playthrough recently, boy, does Virtual Strangers have a show for you. He played it live, hung out with Eric, and Eric and him were shooting the shit with you know, while they were playing, or while Wes was playing, and then like a couple hours into the stream, I guess the developer showed up, and you know, as planned. Listen.
Wes says, nope, not interested. Okay, look, he said it the proper way. Maybe I went too far saying it's probably shovelware garbage, but he knows how to kind of be a little bit more like level-headed, like balanced, like you know, he's just like, nope, I'm not interested. Like it's not. He's good. He's much better at saying it's just not interested or not for me than I am, because I'm just like, I don't know.
Boy,
I thought I saw.
I can't wait.
I saw a preview of this for like a while ago and was like, "This looks terrible," but maybe I was wrong. I don't know.
I can't wait till we talk about Drums Rock just so I can shit all over it.
Okay.
Good. And then and I think that brings us to the last game that's coming out this week, which is The Seventh Guest. Man, oh man! What day is this even coming out? Is this Thursday?
The
19th. Perfect. Well, AJ, I guess we can't talk about our impressions of the game. So let's talk about how excited we are, based on nostalgia, based on the trailers. Is this a remake that you were excited for when it got announced?
Yeah, because a couple of reasons why. The not necessarily nostalgia reasons. Like I've played a little bit of the original forever ago, but I mean, like I hardly remember it, and I definitely didn't beat it. I just remember like some of it. I remember the FMV things with that. You know, I played like this Phantasmagoria and some other point and click adventure stuff, but I was so I don't have any nostalgia with this, but I like the idea of a story driven thing with like the what you call it, the FMV. What's the way they record it called?
What, with the new one?
Yeah,
the volumetric FMV.
Volumetric. Yeah, recording or actors recording and stuff with the actors. That's pretty cool. Kind of how they're recreating the original title that way. But yeah, I'm not really like a big puzzle game person though, so I feel like I'll probably, even if this could be amazing or whatever, it could be great. I feel like you know, even if it's good, like I would probably end up getting bored because it's a puzzle game.
Which is what you've said about every puzzle game known to man.
I have been surprised before. I have been surprised. Stuff like Zing, Transpose, which nobody gave a shit about, I thought was pretty amazing, actually.
Transpose.
But yeah, I don't know. If it's like a straightforward puzzle game, like I'm just going to be, it's spooky season at least. So it's like something to get you in the mood is nice. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, actually, to prepare for the seventh guest, I watched a 2-hour Let's Play of the original, and I was like, well, let's see. I want to know how this new VR version tackles all the. I mean, especially games back then were super heavy on story, and like I was a huge fan of cutscenes. Anytime the game took away control from me, I loved it because I was like, oh, this is cool. These are like production values that like I wasn't used to. And, it all started with Maniac Mansion when it was like, you would just be playing the game and then boom, suddenly you cut to Dr. Fred in the lab with Sandy. And you're like, what is this is another part of the mansion. This is crazy. And I love that shit. And I just kind of fell in love with cutscenes and all that early on. And then through VR, and then I guess even prior to VR, cutscenes just got fucking way too long. It got ridiculous. And so watching the seventh guest on CD-ROM, the original release, really I think is the best way to experience it, because it's basically just a way to deliver you a story and throw some puzzles in there in the meantime. So it was really interesting watching the Let's Play, and then I'm going to be able to just to be able to compare it to the VR version when review time comes around. So yeah, expect a review on Thursday. Is that when this? I don't fucking know, dude.
Actually,
I haven't figured out my week yet.
The embargo.
I don't know if we can talk about embargo details.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, anyway, seventh guest is coming. Highly anticipated title from a lot of different people. Let's real quick tackle a few more tips to get us caught up here. Boop, boop, boom. Let's see. We've got Planet Schlorpian with the $5 tip says, I wasn't bashing PSVR2, just a big VR gamer. Thought AJ bought a Quest 3. My bad. My claim was about as useful as a Palestinian alarm clock. I don't get the reference, but I think it's probably for the best. I hope you didn't think we thought you were bashing PSVR2. I was hoping you were bashing AJ. That was like my real hope there.
Yeah.
And I was actually planning on buying a Quest 3. And when pre-orders went live, I was like, you know what? What's the point? I'm so busy with PSVR 2 until probably March of next year that there's just absolutely no point. What would be the point of buying something that I literally won't have time to play for 5 more months? So I'm going to hold off and see how everything goes down. Hopefully it works out well for Meta and everybody who bought one. So Nihilist Ryan says Brian really avoided getting canceled on that one. Listen, I'm not dumb, okay? I know which battles to pick and which battles not to pick.
Yeah. I'm a little dumb. We were just totally messing with you. Like, no worries.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Always.
I don't know. I don't have a Quest 3 and I don't plan on buying one. Not because I have zero interest in it. Well, maybe a little bit, but I will at some point. I like my Quest 2 as a backup when I had literally nothing else to play and I was dying for VR content. That's when my Quest 2 got the most mileage. Was like basically the end of last year.
And let's be fair, Quest 3, it's all a bunch of Quest 2 ports.
Yeah.
And by the way, everybody, if we make fun of you on this show, it's because that's how we treat everybody. That's how we treat each other, and it's all in good fun. And so I hope no one ever takes us seriously. We really do love you guys. Couldn't do this without you. Speaking of Jesus,
don't take life so seriously all the time.
Speaking of Jesus, Master Gamecaster's back with a $20 tip. Says, just have to say I'm catching up on a month worth of your shows. Missed you guys and girls, and I love the listen. Before I even finish your tip, Matster, it's just time to let it go. Like a month of without Parole Gamescast is probably 100 hours. I can only imagine. What is roughly 5 weeks, 4 weeks in a month? About 2 to 5 hours an episode. It's just not worth it, man. Miss you guys and girls. I do love the fact that you guys love PSVR 2 as much as I do.
Love this thing, man. Love this thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've seen a lot of people complain about certain game releases, about PlayStation VR2 in general. And it's funny, every time I see that, the underlying theme isn't anything to do with PSVR2 specifically. It's just about the VR industry as a whole. That's what most people seem to have complaints about. It's not really even the PSVR2. People are complaining that a majority of games that are coming out are indie, that they want more AAA games, they want more first-party games. Well, this is just the fucking plight of the industry as a whole. This is the VR industry.
Yeah, if you're not happy with
industry.
what Sony's doing, like,
right.
I guess the only saving grace maybe is like some mods, but I don't even think games are fully functional with those.
It depends. So some are better than others. I know that I for the last time I listened to everybody.
Like, can you play a game from start to finish without it crashing or having game-breaking bugs or something? Because I rarely hear that. Like, I get that just experiencing those games for a little bit and stuff. But yeah, that's why I like the actual polished experiences and stuff, because you get the Resident Evil Village, Gran Turismo 7, No Man's Sky. You get the full game with like the full game experience in VR. Yeah,
absolutely. And I'm sure the people in the chat will, correct us and say, well, you can play the full game and all of these. And it's,
please do.
Depending on which mod you're using. The two big ones are obviously Praydog and Luke Ross. It sounds like Praydog's the better of the two. It tends to be a little bit more on par with full VR releases. I could be wrong on that. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. But honestly, I'm just not. I've hated PC gaming for so long. I've hated PC gaming pretty much since I got my first console, which was a Sega Genesis, because I went from the Commodore 64 to the PC to a Sega Genesis when I finally bought one for myself, because my parents were like, no, we've got PC games and Commodore games. Like, there's no reason to. And so when I finally was like, but I want to play all these games that I can't play anywhere else. And then the simplicity of just throwing in a cartridge and playing it, and it just works without fucking around with anything. And as the years went by, the simplicity of consoles became even more appealing, because then, there's compatibility with graphics cards and even early on, it was compatibility with sound cards, Adlib, Sound Blaster, Roland. It was just a fucking nightmare even early on. And then when you get the game working, you're like, oh, right. It's like, that shouldn't be part of the game experience, is figuring out how to get the game working. And so that's why I'm so averse to these PC mods, because I just want to put the headset on and play. I don't want to work to get it working. That's not part of the experience for me. And I think that a lot of PC gamers, for them, it's like, they're fine with it. They love fucking around with shit and like optimizing things and sliding sliders and figuring out what makes it. No, that's not for me. If it's for you, then great, but it's not for me. I don't even know where we are, AJ. Where are we? All right, man. Let's talk about the Drums Rock DLC, because I know you wanted to talk about this. I am going to be the negative Nancy here. You are not going to like what I have to say. I am trying desperately to like Drums Rock, and I just don't.
What don't you like about it?
I don't like that. I feel like I'm missing drums when I shouldn't be, and then it throws me off. I don't like the fact that drums, to me, have a kickback. Like, if my controller is not flying back up after I hit the drum, then it doesn't feel like drums. And so, which is funny to me, because I know that you
have to have a kickback.
Well, anytime you have a drumstick and you hit a drum with any kind of pressure at all, it naturally bounces back up. Snare drums, toms, the whole thing. That's just part of drums. And so so it actually surprises me, because you're a musician, AJ. It surprises me that like this didn't bother you. And I think a lot of people are loving this game, and I'm just not understanding the love. And I think that there's a good game here, and I think that if I got really good at it and I was able to play on like the harder difficulties, I would probably be having a blast. But I don't like the game enough on the easier difficulties to stick with it to get there. And I've got Beat Saber, I've got Synth Riders, I've got other games, but Pistol Whip, that I really, really enjoy, and Drums Rock just isn't doing it for me. That said, this update is the best step forward that this game has made for me, because for the first time, it's like, oh, hey, songs that I actually like. These are good songs. Collective Soul, Lit, The Offspring, and what's the other one?
Space Hog. Space Hog, yeah.
And it's like these are all songs from my, you know, from 15-year-old Brian's life, and I was like, that's cool. This is a great step in the right direction for them. And I think the more songs they get, the more I'll be willing to come back to this and give it another shot.
Yeah, so that's the big thing is like this game originally had like all covers, right? And I actually thought they were pretty good covers. This is a big deal because these are officially licensed songs. Like this is music by The Offspring, which by the way, Offspring is one of my favorite bands of all time. I think the Space Hog in the Meantime is a great song. I love that song. Collective Soul Shine is like their best song. And Collective Soul's they're from Athens, Georgia, I think. And you know, so they're like a local kind of homegrown band and they have a special place in my heart. But yeah, and then there's the Lit thing. The Lit song is probably my least favorite of them. I don't really care about that band or whatever, but I think it's an okay song for being like a cheesy poppy rock radio song, whatever, blah blah blah. That was okay, but I think the other three songs I absolutely love, and you know, man, yeah, I don't know, you know, I can't say why, you know, the drums don't feel right to you, why you feel like you're missing notes. This definitely does not happen with me. And yeah, as a drummer in real life, I feel like this game, that's what I love about it is, I mean, you know, it's basically a Guitar Hero clone, that tries to add a little bit of its own concept with this whole, like, it's almost got this Tenacious D kind of goofy rock flavor to it. And then it's got, you know, you're supposed to be killing demons as you're playing, and those are the things flying at you.
Can we stop there for a second too? Like, I'm so sick of this heavy metal trope of like, I mean, did you play Brutal Legend on PS3 with like Jack Black and?
No, but I know what it is, but yeah, I never played it.
I just don't like this whole, you know, like the whole demons and like the silly cartoons that all are associated with heavy metal music. Like it just seems so played out, and the fact that is the aesthetic for this game from top to bottom, I'm just like, so sorry. Like I know it just sounds like I'm shitting on this game, and I really do respect everyone's opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I take no offense. Like, I don't, it doesn't bother me because, like, you know, I like it. Like, it's not the reason I like this game, but I do think it is like it gives it some charm and stuff. And I do like the style, especially over some other games that, you know, like I've played in the past or, you know, I feel like it could be a lot worse, especially after playing something like Unplugged air guitar. It could definitely be a lot worse. But dude, like I said, like I play drums in real life. I have a pretty good feel for them, and I feel like this game. I strongly disagree with the way you think the drums feel and stuff. Yes, it's to me, it's the closest you can get to playing a real drum set, and the haptics are so for such like a small team and stuff like the way they fine tune the haptics to make them feel so good. I mean, everything from clicking your sticks together to begin the song, it feels really good. All the drums feel really good to me. The actual precision of the gameplay and the timing of it and the drum, the mapping and everything feels really, really good. This game does not, you may not like it or people may not like it, which is fine. But this game, I think, is actually really, really well designed. And it's actually on sale right now. And listen, I will not hesitate. There's a demo, of course, you could try. But if like, I don't care. Like, I will 100% stand behind this game and say, like, no, this game is really good, and I do think you should check it out. I think it's really, really good. Even if you just try the demo or whatnot, I think everybody should be at least give it a try. It's got a free demo that you can try. So unless you just absolutely hate music, you should definitely give it a shot. You got nothing to lose by trying a free demo. That's what it's there for. But I think it's a really good game, and I think it's exciting that it has officially licensed music. And also, I'm a big fan of Demio, and they've also released this Demio collaboration thing, which is really, really cool. And I played that song. Yeah, like I played through all these songs. The Offspring, you know, the You're Gonna Go Far Kid. That's that's like a newer Offspring song, but I absolutely love it. I actually really like that song, and yeah, like it's so much fun when you play. I mean, if this game had My Chemical Romance, I think you'd like all of a sudden like this game. I feel like
Dude, I would be so bummed out that this game got MCR instead of Beat Saber, because Beat Saber is where I want to play that. I think like I said, this is a really good step for them in the right direction. This is a really good step for them. Not being cover songs, being songs that I'm familiar with, people that I like. And for anyone in the chat that's like, oh, Brian doesn't like metal, Brian didn't like Brutal Legend. None of that's true. I'm just fed up with certain tropes and honestly, like I said before, I think this is probably a very good game because everyone I trust says it's great. I'm not willing to spend the time with it. Remember Audica? And how when I started playing Audica, I was like, I don't like this game at all. And then the better I got at it and the harder difficulties I played, I was like, wow. And I got really good at Audica, and then was like, I love this game. Like I almost liked Audica better than Beat Saber for a while. And that was just a journey that I was willing to take then because we didn't have a lot of other stuff going on, and we have so much other stuff going on right now that it's not a journey I'm willing to take with Drums Rock. And so hopefully everyone in the chat understands where I'm coming from this. I'm being as honest as I possibly can, saying I think it's a good game. I spend the time with it.
Yeah. I totally understand. Like we'd be having a different conversation right now if you were saying this game sucks or this game isn't well designed.
Yep.
You know, I totally get it. Like you don't have to love the same everything. Like not everybody has to like the same stuff. I think this is just a matter of taste, a matter of opinion, a matter of mood that you're in, what you feel like playing at the time, which can vary. And yeah, like this is a game I admit, like I had to kind of like force myself to start playing it first, but then I was like, holy shit, this is actually really freaking good. Like it wasn't very appealing to me at first until I actually played it. And then, yeah, like I started to realize like how much work actually went into this and how well it's designed and stuff. And like I said, everything from the drumming feels really good to me. I like the music, like a lot of the things click. So I think it's a fantastic game. And yeah, if you're remotely interested, go and pick it up. But if it seems like, you know, it's like you can still not be interested or not be into a good game, and that's okay. As long as you make that clear.
Right. Absolutely. Dan Kiefer in the chat says Brian just doesn't like Jack Black, and you fucking nailed that, Dan Kiefer. Never been a Jack Black fan. I think he's a big doofus, and he ruined Neverending Story 3. I'm kidding. He was in Neverending Story 3, but
what?
Yeah, you don't remember that? He was the bully in Neverending Story 3.
I don't think I've seen the third one, to be honest.
Neverending Story 1 is one of my favorite movies of all time. 2 and 3 can suck it. In 3 especially. Especially Falcor. Falcor was like this wise old luck dragon. You know, when you were a kid, you wanted to ride on Falcor. And he was just like wise. And in 2 and 3, as it progressed, it got worse. They just made him into like a fumbling idiot. And so, like, whoever made 2 and 3 just had no idea what they were doing. And then including Jack Black in 3 was the biggest downfall. Robert the Gamecat says, "There's a Never-Ending Story 3." Yeah, trust me, you don't want to know that it exists. So please erase that from your memory and don't watch it because it'll retroactively destroy the first movie for you. Steve Irie says, "I've never seen the first one. I have. I don't know why I hang out with you.
Go watch it."
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got nothing better to do, right? Get a million ththings better to do.
Yeah. But anyways, at the end of the day, man, like I said, I think this game is really good. I know, I'm not saying you have to like it, but I do think it's a very, very good game. And this DLC is awesome. For those that their biggest complaint about it was that it was all covers, which I actually, again, will reiterate. I think they're really good covers. But I can understand. It was nice to have some original tracks, and it was also, I'm a big 90s kid, so it was nice to have some 90s goodness in there.
True that. All right, man, talk to me about Tennis on Court. Tennis on Court is releasing in just a couple hours. The clock on the PlayStation Store for me says it's going to release at midnight, and I've been playing it nonstop. Nonstop, dude. If any other reviewer out there, and I'm not throwing shade at other reviewers, I'm just saying that, like, I think I'm crazy. If any other reviewer puts the time into their review that I put into this, I will be shocked because I think most people will play it for an hour and go, all right, 6 out of 10. And dude, the more I dug into Tennis on Court, the more appalled I became. AJ, where are you at with this game right now?
So I noticed, like, I noticed you've been very, very excited about this game, and I know how much you wanted this game to be good, because I know that you said, I think you like tennis.
Yeah, and anything I can play 4 players and hang out. Like, dude, for me, this was a slightly more active version of Walkabout mini golf. Like, let's go play this random sport and just be able to be social and go chill together, have fun.
For me, I had very, very, very low expectations for this. So it didn't turn out like as disappointing or whatever. I played this for the first time yesterday, actually. And, I jumped in, I started playing with some of the single player stuff just versus the AI. And, immediately, luckily I've got a game, like a baseline to compare this against, which is Dream Match Tennis VR, which I thought was really bad. I know some people kind of liked it.
Oh, I didn't realize you thought it was bad.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. Like, at all.
Okay.
I mean, maybe a little bit. Maybe like it was functional, but it was like, okay, this is about, like, yes, you can hit the ball back and forth, but that's about as good as it gets. So I had really low expectations for this game, and this being spooky season and all these other high profile games, I wasn't really excited about it. So when that kind of happens, it's like, well, I started playing the single player, and the first thing I noticed is, I think the game actually looks kind of sharp. Like it looks pretty sharp graphically. Got a nice resolution to it, and the first thing I noticed is there's like different stadiums you can choose. You can create an avatar, and granted, the avatars are not great, but there's actually, like, it's kind of bare bones, but at least there's something to choose from. You can kind of customize your character a little bit. So I was like, okay, like, this isn't very good, but it's at least like kind of there, like somewhat like what they could afford to get into the game. And it was kind of cool, like, customizing my avatar, choosing from different rackets. And then I played versus the AI, and I just played some just skirmishes or whatever.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, like, there's full free locomotion. I don't think there's turning in the game. I think you just can run forward and backwards and side to side.
Yep.
It's a tennis game, and you don't really have to turn, so it's like it didn't really matter. But yeah, I was playing it, and I was like, this is like okay, like it's not bad. Like, I'm playing versus thing. I'm not very good at first, but like I'm serving, and I'm returning balls, and like once I start getting better and better at it, I'm getting more competitive with the AI. And it was okay, and I was like, okay, I'm interested to try the tournament mode now, but I haven't yet. Instead of the tournament mode, however, I did jump in with you and Wes and Miles. And that's where where the problems started to really reveal themselves.
What a total shit show that was. I mean, first of all, one of us was drunk. I'm not going to name names, but one of us was drunk. And
I mean, that person was acting fine. However,
this is true. I was the obnoxious one. I'm just saying. Listen, I get a little giddy every time the 4 of us get into a game together because it happens so infrequently, and so I was really excited for it. But prior to the 4 of us getting into a game, Miles and I had gotten into a game, and I played with somebody who, God, I wish I had his name handy. But shout out to the dude who I played with after Miles. He was reviewing the game for a Swiss website, and he was their VR guy. And I was like, "Oh, you're my favorite person at that website I'd never heard of because you're their VR guy." And so I played a little bit online against one other person, and I was like, "This is okay." Like, the animations were delayed to the point where, like, you know, it was an issue, but as long as you knew the ball was coming back at you, you just assumed that it was coming back at you. The delayed animations weren't game breaking, and it kind of worked okay. But then when we played with all 4 of us, it was just a fucking shit show. Like,
yeah, it's, you know, that's the thing. First and foremost, the game needs to function properly, and I don't care what you're able to forgive. You know, some things you can critique, some things you let go. If the game doesn't function as an actual like tennis match, like just a normal tennis match, then that's where like I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty bad. And you know, it was a combination of things. Like, you know, there was some like latency in the animations, and I was like, you know, so it looks like Brian's hitting the ball back with his right thigh. You know, I can live with that.
Right.
What I can't live with is that the ball is coming towards me, and last second I hit it back without it touching the ground, and I return it to you, and then it goes, team 1 gets a point. Like, you guys scored, like I didn't just return that to you.
right.
Or like you spiking the ball into the crowd and then getting a point, and then us losing because of it. That is where I draw the line at unforgivable. Was it hilarious? Yes.
Yep.
Did we have lots of fun? Yes.
Mhm.
It does not make it good though.
Oh, we had fun for all the wrong reasons in this game.
Yeah.
Right. It was, yeah. This is the crazy part, is that, you know, again, surface level, you start playing and everything seems okay. You start playing the single player, everything seems okay. You don't have delayed animations there. The animations are still terrible. They're all canned animations, which means that, you know, if you're playing against somebody online, you can't see what they're doing. You just see them standing there. You know, and then as I got further into the single player has 4 tournaments. It's like, you know, ranges from beginner to pro. And I was like, all right, I gotta get through all of these basically in one sitting, because I need to review this game properly. And so I played beginner, and I got through it pretty quickly, and I was like, that was really beginner. And then I was like, well, you know what, fuck it. I was gonna take a break, but I'll just go right through the next one. So I did the next tournament, the next difficulty. And I was like, that was strangely not any harder than the first one. And then I did the expert one, and then I did the pro one, whatever the order is. And it never got any harder at all. Now I've been in contact with Perp and been like, what the fuck is going on with this game? Because like I was at least excited for it. You're charging $35 for this. What's going on? And you know, because it's got weird audio issues. It just feels unfinished in so many different regards.
It definitely, that's the thing here, is like there is a good game here, but it needs to be finished. And it's not like the graphics are blurry or anything kind of finished. It's like, no, like the mechanics, the functionality of it, you know, maybe even some of the content needs to be finished. It needs to have an actual normal and hard mode that work, not everything just on easy. You know, I can live with like a little bit of content or whatever here and there. Like if it's got some customization, although it's not that deep, it's like, well, you know, it's got some stuff, you know, it could get some updates later and whatever. And I was excited at first that there was actual people in the crowds. And then y'all tried, you sure tried really hard to ruin that for me.
Success.
But no, I just think at the end of the day, it's not in an acceptable state. It doesn't work. The like the multiplayer's broken.
Yeah.
And so that's not good. But when I was playing versus the AI or whatever, like I was having fun, just hitting it, like playing against the AI at first.
Yep. It started, dude, me too. It started off for me like 6, 7 out of 10. Like it was like, all right, this is average, but like at least it's fun and the physics feel right, and you know, whatever.
Physics, the swinging, everything, felt really good. It was returning some really tough balls that were coming my way, and it was good at first, but yeah, like you said, the kind of, when you really start to look at all the details and stuff, it just really starts to fall apart. And like you said, it didn't become kind of real to me until you said it was $35, and I was like, what? Excuse me?
Right.
Like what?
Right.
As a $35 game, like Holy shit, man. Like we gave VR Skater a little bit of crap for the price, but man, like, no, this is not the same deal. Like VR Skater is a super fine-tuned, polished, really sharp graphics, smooth frame rate,
Yep.
Like plenty of content that's there and fleshed out and whatnot. And yeah, it's like, no, like that seems like this is like if something completely different, where it's like, it's just like you said, it's just unfinished. It's unfortunate because it could be a decent tennis game, but it's completely unfinished.
Yep. So the plus side of this, of course, is when I got in touch with Perp Games, they're obviously investigating what happened. This is not typical of Perp. They're usually very much on their game and being cautious about these type of things and making sure that things are ready when they launch. And especially with the state that this is in, like this is almost like a new state of disrepair. Like this is Galaxy Kart launch level, where it just was really it just really is broken. And so when I got in contact with Perp, they said that they're looking into it, and then that the developers are going to be actually going through my review with a fine-tooth comb and like going through every single complaint and seeing what the problem is, how it should be fixed, how it can be fixed.
How do you not know what the problem is?
Well, so here's
Like-
so I've got a weird theory about this. Either I'm being lied to, AJ, which is, I mean, I guess possible, right? But I've got a good relationship with Perp. I feel like they've always been very honest with me, and so I don't think I'm being lied to. Let's get that out of the way. What I do think happened, if I'm not being lied to, is that we're playing on a different build than they thought was released, and this has actually happened before, where developers said like the wrong build got released of a game, and because they were saying, because even Perp was saying we didn't experience any audio issues in the game, and I was like, well, you experience audio issues within the first 5 seconds of starting a game, so that how are you not experiencing audio issues? And then also they said that the difficulty does get harder with every single tournament, and that was not fucking apparent at all when I played. So it felt like that we were playing such different versions of the game that the only thing I could suspect, and again, this is being very generous with my suspicions, that the wrong build got uploaded. I can't. Otherwise, I can't fucking understand what's going on.
I don't buy it. I just think the game I think the developers got away with, getting this here. I don't see them.
They didn't get away with anything though, because here's Perp with the review embargo lifting almost 24 hours before the game comes out. There was no pre-order or pre-order discount or bonus or anything like that, and so it felt like they really thought that this game was going to be good. And they were like, we give everyone 24 hours to realize that they want to buy this game. They felt confident, and so I think something went horribly wrong here, and hopefully we'll get the full story one of these days.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the game's not being developed by Perp Games, so they can only do so much.
True.
But yeah, I just think like you said, man, we don't need to go on much longer about this. The game's not finished. It needs to be fucking finished.
Right.
And
3.5.
And it actually might be, it needs to be finished. And then it needs like to be at least half as much.
Yeah. I feel like the content that's here doesn't justify anything more than a $25 or $20 price point.
No, charging $35 is it should be a crime for this.
And it's funny because the very first thing you said about this game, I didn't want to interrupt you so early on because I've been talking so goddamn much this episode, but you said that you got in and you were like relatively happy with the resolution, and I was like, for a game that takes place in the confines of a tennis court, in one that doesn't look terribly good at that, with half two-dimensional crowd, why isn't this running at 4K 90, 4K 120? Like, this is a game that should absolutely shine in the headset based on resolution and frame rate alone, if not for art design. For me, I was actually shocked that it looks okay in the headset, but man, there's no reason that this can't be running at max resolution and frame rates. Just saying.
Yeah, I thought it looked fine. And like even the animations and stuff, they weren't like perfect, but I think that Like it was enough. It was enough to like feel like I'm playing an actual tennis match and stuff. And yeah, it's not like super sophisticated AI, but it moves like how tennis players move and stuff. And the crowd was moving like how a crowd moves and cheering and stuff. And like it was close. It was close, but it's unfortunately broken.
Yep. And I got to piss off Matthew Longo with the very first line of my review, talking shit about Virtua tennis players. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the only tennis game I've ever been into was like Mario Tennis. That shit was so good.
Because it was like an RPG, right?
I don't remember it being an RPG. I just remember having really fun gameplay and.
No, maybe I played a different Mario Tennis. But...
You might be thinking about Super Mario RPG.
Nope. Dude, there was even a TurboGrafx 16 tennis game. I think it was World Court Tennis, World Tour Tennis, something like that. That was also an RPG tennis game. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on with tennis games, but from early days, they were like, tennis isn't enough to sell you a game. Like, we need to add shit to this.
We gotta before we move on to the main topic of the day. Sure. Red Sea Gaming says the crowd looks like No Mercy for the N64. It was funny because I actually thought the crowd looked okay in this until Brian and Miles and Wes pointed out to me the truth behind it. They kind of fooled me here. Up front, the crowd actually has like animated people and whatnot, and I was like, oh wow, like that's cool because back in the day playing stuff like different racing games or on the N64 like cruising series, there was always these flat like a little GIF images that would like move up and down just like once or twice, and that was like all that they would do, or they would just be like these like cardboard cutout things in the crowd and stuff. And but yeah, so in this, they've actually got like animated people like moving around and stuff in the front. But then they pointed out to me that they're like, "Hey, look behind you," and I looked behind me, and it's all the flat the flat images of like this like wavy people to just kind of make it seem like they're moving a little bit.
And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Unfortunately,
you can't unsee it.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
Red Sea Gaming in the chat clarifies Mario Tennis for Game Boy Color or Game Boy Advance had RPG elements. In the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance is one of my favorite systems / handheld / if you want to call it a console of all time. Sorry, sirens on my end. I love the Game Boy Advance more than life itself. So, just saying. Christmas is coming. I don't even know what that means. I don't want to.
Anyways,
dude. All right. Listen. Let's tackle a couple more tips, and then we'll get to a final topic of the day. We got GundieGundie wie das Gamecat Wetter. That felt pretty good to say. With the €5 says celebrating into my 30th birthday with pizza and you guys. Thanks for all the years of entertainment. That's VR and entertainment smushed together. Damn, there's a lot of sirens on my end. I wonder if they're coming for me. One question: what's your favorite Halloween costume? Listen,
one I haven't done yet. My favorite one I've ever done is I don't know.
But wait, it doesn't matter if you've done it or not.
Your favorite costume ever?
There was a somebody just shared this on Discord recently. I don't know if it was Rypop or who shared it on Discord, but it was the costume was an alien that was like grabbing a little boy, and so like the little boy was in the costume, but just his head was where the little boy's body was, but his actual body was in the alien costume. Oh, maybe Izzard shared this. I can't fucking remember. Somebody help me out in the chat. And so he played the part so well on the video that it actually, like, because he was like, he's screaming and like walking backwards and being like, you're taking me. He grabs onto the wall and shit. And so like, it looks like an alien, like, I mean, a very cartoony alien is abducting this kid. And I was like, that kind of shit where it like fucks with your head, where like, even though you know how it works, that kind of shit that fucks with your head is my favorite kind of Halloween costume, because so much thought goes into that. And the kid just played it up so well that it was such a great video. You
better wear something on next Monday's. Is it next Monday? Or is it 2 weeks from now? It might be 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, you and I are going to have the Halloween
two
Eve
weeks.
episode.
Yeah.
All right.
Halloween Eve.
What do you want me to wear? A sexy nurse uniform?
Maybe like the Silent. If it's the Silent Hill nurse.
I mean, not gonna lie, I thought the Silent Hill nurses were sexy. Yeah, I also thought the sisters in Village were sexy. You know,
my first GAMESCAST costume was Sherwolf Holmes. It was like the Sherlock Holmes werewolf, and I remember doing that and like howling and stuff, and I remember you just like rolling your eyes and like.
me roll my eyes at you.
Yes,
that doesn't sound like something that's ever happened on GamesCast before.
I was having so much fun, and you're just like over here, just like, oh, God, what is he doing?
I like the eye fluttering thing you're doing. You're like, oh, like I'm some beauty queen. I'm like, why do I put up with this?
And then last year I did a costume in like 5 seconds, but everybody seemed to like it.
What was last year? I can't remember.
It was supposed to be like a skull or something, and it ended up looking like a panda. Oh
yeah, you were an adorable panda.
It was supposed to be a skeleton, and everyone just thought it was a panda.
Yeah, now you got me thinking. We actually have enough time for me to think about this. 2 weeks.
Yeah,
but it can't be something I have to make myself. It's just gonna be something I can order. I don't have time to build to make something. And plus, if I made something, it would look terrible. I am not crafty.
Scott remembers.
All right, man. Let's tackle a couple more tips. By the way, happy birthday, GundieGundie. 30th birthday. It's a big milestone. I'm sorry to tell you it's all downhill from here. Man Bear Pig Gamecat AJ, he does exist with a $2 tip. Says hashtag Man Bear Pig Gamecat. Like, do you think he could make that a thing? Like just by posting it in a tip?
You could definitely do it.
It's trending on Twitter now. That's all it took. Love you guys, Brian, AJ, Wes, Miles. We love you too, Man Bear Pig Gamecat. We're so happy that you exist. Andrew Ehrenreich just joined the level 2 membership. Thank you so much for that. And every little bit helps, guys. Being a member over here, being on patreon.com/withoutparole games, supporting the channel in any way that you can. Hopefully you guys know that I really, really appreciate you, even if you don't get a lot back for these things. You get few and far between Patreon rewards. But just know that it's because I'm trying to do everything I can to make the core channel as great as it can be. I don't want to hold things back from people. This is a super delayed tip from Macho, the real estate procrastinating Gamecat. He was mad about the Drums Rock conversation. Stop it, Brian. Stop it. Everyone, Drums Rock is amazing on hard.
Yes.
You know what else is amazing on hard, Macho? That's right.
Actually, medium. I think medium's good too.
Yeah. Okay. We need Linkin Park in Green. He said Green Day on this ASAP. Yeah, hell yeah, man. We need all sorts of more music, and the more music that comes in that I'm interested in, the more I'll be willing to go back and get good at this thing. Unfortunately, I'd rather just play Beat Saber. See, look at me. I can't even shut up about how much I don't like this game. I'm just gonna troll everybody with this.
It seriously doesn't bother me. Like, it seriously doesn't.
It doesn't bother me.
It sucks that you don't like it, because I do think it's really good, but it doesn't bother me one bit.
Yeah. It doesn't bother me either. We've got so many games, and anytime somebody doesn't like, immediately love a game, and I'm saying immediately because again, give a game its due, and then you can speak on it with some kind of knowledge or education. And I haven't done that with Drums Rock, but I've done that with plenty of other games. And if people don't immediately love games that I do love, I don't care, man. I just want you to be happy and play the games that you love. Like, don't put in work to like something. This is why I don't do PC gaming, AJ, because I don't want to work to enjoy something. Arlen Teodori with the $10 tip sends a little hippo spinning in a desk chair. What's up, Arlen? I think about you frequently. You know what I mean. Melchiah, the Soul Reaving Gamecat, with the level 2 membership, says, wait, Brian, so me listening to every PSVR GamesCast podcast available, they go back to July 17th, 2021. Oh, my goodness. Throughout these past few months wasn't a Gamecat requirement. No, it wasn't. But I'm so glad you're getting enjoyment out of that. Another shout out to Rypop for getting that thing up on podcast services, and Jamia, who did it prior. These things, like, dude, it's things like this, timestamps, that like really like, you know, when they say it takes a village, AJ, have you heard this fucking terrible expression? It takes a village to raise a child. It also takes a village to run fucking without parole, because there's just certain things that people really do enjoy about this channel, including the podcast format, that I simply don't have time to do myself. And so that's why I'm so thankful to have all these amazing mods and co-hosts and everybody else that contributes to the channel, because there's no way that I could do it myself. So thank you everybody out there that does this. Really appreciate you. All right. One more tip and then we'll get back to it. Excuse me, I cannot clear my throat today, AJ. Hopefully it sounds as sexy as I think it does. Snafu with the $2 tip says, AJ, be Lobo for Halloween. Do it. Meow meow.
What the hell's a Lobo?
Lobo? Be Lobo? Like the DC Comics character? You don't know Lobo?
I don't know comic books. I'm sorry.
I'm not up on recent
comic book.
I'm not up on recent comic books, but Lobo was a big one when I got into comics around the death of Superman.
Let me see here. Lobo.
Yeah, I got into comics a little bit late. Like I didn't get into them like 6, 7, 8 years old, like when I think a lot of other people did. I got into them when I was like 14.
I have no idea who that is, but he looks cool.
Yeah, he is cool. Definitely one of the cooler DC characters. In my opinion, at least. But it's been a while. So I have no idea what he's been up to for the last, I don't know, 30 years.
And now I'm being booed.
Oh, well, that's okay, man. I took my lumps with Drums Rock. You can take your lumps with...
I don't think anybody gave you...
Sure they did. Sure they did. You got 7 people unsubscribed when I said I didn't like Drums Rock. Good riddance, I say, AJ. Good riddance. Still trying to get canceled, but failing miserably.
Los Lobos. Los Lobos kick your balls into outer space. Anyways. Can we move on, please?
Was that from? Wait, is that from Short Circuit?
2, I think.
We just got a Short Circuit reference on Gamescast. That's not something. That was not on my bingo card. Amazing.
Los Lobos.
I love Short Circuit so much when I was a kid. I wonder if it stands up, stands the test of time.
Holds up.
Yeah, holds up. Yeah. All right, AJ, it's time to talk about the biggest topic I think of the day was the big news that Breachers, pretty popular 5v5 tactical shooter on other headsets, pretty much every other headset, is coming to PSVR2 and soon. It's coming next month, man. It'll be here in November. How excited are you about this?
Pretty excited, man, because I hear some pretty good things about this. And the developers have actually, along with the announcement of it coming to us in November, the developers have said the PSVR2 version is going to bring adaptive trigger support, trophies, hopefully that implies platinum trophy, and enhanced visuals. The game will have never looked better. So they're not only bringing this game that a lot of people really like, that is supposed to be, I've seen it compared to like Rainbow Six Siege, but it also seems like it might have some like rappelling and some other things to it, but it does seem like a tactical 5v5 shooter, and then also has a team deathmatch mode. Not only getting a game that people really like, but getting what sounds like an enhanced version as well. So I'm all about it. I don't care if we have an abundance of shooters. The more the merrier, I say. Well, especially good ones.
Yeah, I mean, the more the merrier for sure. However, you know, some of the ones we've been excited about recently didn't quite pan out. Like Alvo came out, and it was, you know, I think pretty damn good, but it was still very much a, hey, this is the PSVR1 version, and it just runs pretty well on the PSVR2, right? It didn't feel like it made a huge leap from the last time we played it.
It's a decent upgrade. I agree. It's more of a 1.5, but I think it's good though.
It's a 1.2.
1.2. I think it was well done though.
Yeah.
I still don't find myself like, it's not really for me, but I do think it seems like it's pretty decent.
Well, see, and the thing is Firewall on Firewall 0 Hour on PSVR1 was for me. And so when Ultra came out, and it suffered a ton of different bugs, had matchmaking problems, it had squatting problems.
Ultra is an ultra disaster.
Yeah, and somehow it's been a couple months now, and it just still isn't where it needs to be, and that is shocking to me. And so when something like this gets announced, and like if you're watching this trailer right now and you're seeing people scale buildings and rappel down the side of buildings and break into windows, like, talk about something that Firewall absolutely should have thought about when they made Ultra. Say, hey, like we need to not just bring Firewall to PSVR2, but we need to really up these mechanics. We really need to add some VRAF shit to this. We really need to say, hey, this is why this game is different than the game that you played last gen. And they did a little bit of that, especially with the extraction modes. But I think that rappelling down buildings is like, this is shit that you really want to do in VR. And saying, hey, we not only put these two teams in a location together, we put one of them outside the location and they have to break in. Like, to me, that is such that is such,
that like each map though, or is that just like one of the levels, or what?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. So
I guess we don't know the specifics of that. We don't know if that's, I don't actually know if that's like a full mechanic of the game, but obviously it is a feature that the game has, because they mention being able to rappel and stuff, and
right.
and like come crashing through windows and stuff.
So yeah, full transparency. Obviously, AJ and I haven't played this because it's been on, I believe, Steam and Quest and Pico. It's on everything else. When it comes to PSVR2 next month, it will have crossplay with all of those platforms, which is awesome, because this is a game that's been really well regarded by the community, and so I think it's got a pretty big player base, and we're just going to add to that, and it'll come pre-installed with with a player base, even on day one. So very excited to check this out and see all the stuff that I really feel like, dude, that Triangle Factory is hitting at just the right time, striking while the fire is hot. And unfortunately, the fire is hot means that we don't have a game like this that we really need. Like, not a well-polished game. And if they can deliver a well-polished game in November, I think they're going to land at just the right time and make a lot of people very happy.
Yeah. I don't know how old these reviews are, but it's obviously, let's see, April 13th. They released April 13th of 2023. So it seems like, the game is not that old. It's only a couple months old.
Yeah, 6 months.
And it doesn't seem like it has a deep amount of content.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounds like what's there is kind of good for the most part. So it may take some time for it to get like fully fleshed out. It seems like it might be a little bit on the bare bones side with just a couple good modes, but it seems like it's pretty decent quality. And yeah, man, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it launches with enough content to keep it playable for several hours, and hopefully it's fun. And if it does well, I'm sure it'll expand on that, being that it's such a new game. A lot of the times games like these that are like, Steam releases and stuff, first they came out like years ago, right? Like Pavlov. Pavlov has been out for years. They've had years to fine tune it, add content to it, things like that. So if it's priced appropriately, then I think it'll be fine. Like, people, if there's not tons of content, if it's a cheap price, people will be all over it.
Well,
absolutely.
Over here on the Steam page, which I'm sure is pretty accurate to what we'll be getting on PSVR2, it's listed for $29.99, so it's $30. And in the short description of it, says, Breacher is a tactical 5v5 VR first-person shooter. Plan your assault or orchestrate your defense as a team through intense close-quarters combat. Climb, vault, rappel, swing, shoot, and strategize your way to victory in stunning environments. So it's making it sound like the climbing and rappelling and all that is a pretty prominent feature. Instead of being attackers and defenders, you're enforcers or revolters. So it says, breach as enforcer. Your goal as an enforcer is to eliminate your enemies and disarm their bombs with an EMP. Repel and blow up walls. Blow up walls. Ooh. Swing through windows and catch your opponents by surprise with gadgetry like drones, cloaking devices, flashbangs, and breaching foam. Ambush as a revolter. Your goal as a revolter is to prevent your enemies from disarming your bomb and terminating them before they do so. Use door blockers, trip mines, static field emitters, and proximity sensors to defend your position. And then the last thing says, customize powerful weaponry. To ensure victory, purchase and customize your extensive weaponry to your liking at the start of each round. Every gun, whether it's pistols, SMGs, shotguns, or assault rifles, can be modified with attachments to suit your needs. Dude,
these reviews on Steam these have got to be some of the worst reviews I've ever seen. Everything is mentioning just getting harassed by children. And I don't understand. This is so weird. It's so weird. I guess kids really like this game or something. These have got to be the worst reviews I've ever seen.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it coming to PSVR2 because, let's hope that we can limit it to PSVR2 players if we feel like, and we can do some Gamecat meetups in this because this sounds like a blast.
Yeah, I love the fact that it's getting compared to Rainbow Six Siege. It's like you said, there is a tactical element that sounds really nice. It is like an attacking and defending kind of thing. There is a team deathmatch mode, it sounds like, but I do like strategy, strategic shooters and stuff, tactical shooters. They're a little bit, they're pretty fun. They require a little bit of additional skill rather than just fast reflexes. Some good planning and stuff like that. So, and good teamwork. And usually if you have the better you work as a team, the more successful you are. So, could be pretty good, man. I'm curious to see what kind of single player content it has. It sounds like the only thing I've seen is that it has some training modes or something.
Yeah. I wouldn't count on single player. This does not sound like a game that you'd be buying for single player. One of the complaints I saw in the reviews was that the bots need massive improvements. So if you can actually play this with a team of bots against a team of bots, then it sounds like maybe that isn't quite up to par yet. But again, we have no idea what the PSVR2 version will bring with it. And dude, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. As a PlayStation VR gamer, you're constantly hearing different games. Right, people are just kind of mentioning them in passing or saying, "Oh, I hope PSVR gets this," or "I hope PSVR2 gets that." And this is a game that people have been talking about for a while, and so really got my fingers crossed and can't wait for a release date.
Yeah, I'm going to keep my expectations a little lower for this one, but I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to seeing more about it. It doesn't help that I don't know much about it. I've just seen kind of the trailer and then just read here, and it doesn't seem like a lot of information.
Yeah.
So. It's kind of hard to get super excited about something you don't know a whole lot about. But it sounds promising, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's like I said, the good news is that everyone that has played it and knows about it seems to be pretty high on it. So yeah, that's good. Good sign.
Austin Claybaugh. Austin Claybaugh. We'll go with that with a $50 tip. Thank you so much for your generosity. He says, "Sorry, AJ. I just heard Miles' old band Schemata Theory. It was amazing. I got to support." What is he apologizing to you for?
I don't know, but I saw another comment that he made like that, and I'm like, "What? We didn't even. I don't know. I don't know what this is in reference to. I don't get it."
Miles' old band was great. Schemata Theory was awesome. I discovered them obviously only after meeting Miles, and really, really enjoyed them. Good stuff.
Yeah, I don't know why do you apologize to me to say that is good? Because I have nothing to do with that.
Austin, clarify in the chat. Let us know what's going on here. But thank you so much for your generosity. Get in my belly, the Game Psycho with a $5 tip. What up, Wilkins? Just sends us a little emoji. Says number one. Thank you. You're number one.
Y'all number one.
You're in the top 10. Twitcher, the Deuce Juice Gamecat with the $5 says, "Don't put in work to make yourself like games, ? Damn, I wasted years making myself love swordsman." Yes, you did. Macho, the real estate procrastinating Gamecat with the $2 tip says, "Firewall missed their mark. They are done." We'll see. We'll see.
It'll be interesting, dude. Like I said, the only way Firewall recovers at this point is if they are secretly selling a bunch behind the scenes, which does not seem like the case, given that 1 month later they dropped off the store almost entirely. But they'd have to pull like a Hello Games here. That's the only way they come back, and I don't see that happening. Unless I don't know, unless like by some miracle, it would basically take a miracle at this point to save Firewall. I think they doomed themselves here.
Yeah, see, I was talking to some people who were playing it recently, and they said that that they moved the level you have to be to unlock certain things higher up again, and so like it made the grind even more difficult recently. So
yeah, and all the people that actually stuck with the game and were like, oh, we'll just ride this thing out. Yeah, they all got reset.
Oh, right.
Their XP got reset. I think they just I think I don't see it recovering. Like I said, it would take a miracle.
Yeah, like a complete relaunch, I think, is what they need. Relaunch with more maps and fix all the bugs, everything, dude. And honestly, like, I don't want to sit here and just harp on Firewall, but it seems like shit was just like not planned out well from the get-go. Just getting a game started is convoluted, so confusing. I don't understand why they did that. Antonio Jackson with the $5 tip says Short Circuit holds up as well as expected. Hashtag Johnny5 is alive. But I would love a game recommendation. I would love a game recommendation. Can only buy one game: Madison VR or Vertigo 2. Okay, listen. This is a tough one because I've never played Madison VR or Vertigo 2. Vertigo 2 is supposedly one of the best VR games ever made. People rank it up there with Half-Life Alyx. And I'm sure that when we get it on PSVR 2, it'll be one of the best versions of the game that's ever been made. I only played the first hour or two of Madison on Switch. So like really my knowledge base on these games is very, very low. But I would hedge your bets on Vertigo based on his reputation alone.
Yeah, I have no idea. I refuse to answer because I'm very excited about both of these. I have high expectations for both of these, but I have not played either one. I will answer that question if you ask me to recommend a game that actually exists at this time.
Oh, by the way, Austin Claybaugh said, I'm just taking away from AJ's GAMESCAST. That is all.
Oh, no, you're not. Miles is blood, man. We're all the same blood here.
Oh! I get it. Okay, yeah. No, I've been doing my best to make sure that I recognize all of my co-hosts, regardless of what day of the week it is. And so, yeah, man, you're doing fine.
Yeah,
doing fine.
We're all good.
We all love each other.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
like we're friends outside of this.
Yeah, I mean, good. I tolerate AJ, but the other guys are okay.
Yeah, I like the other guys, but not Brian so much.
Dude, they hang out without me. It's really sad. I find out they're like, "Oh, we had a great party last night." I was like, "What? I'm not invited."
Shit! They told you about that? Damn it!
Oh, I found out. I have eyes everywhere, AJ. Eyes everywhere. Super cool video, bro. The $2 tip says, is waiting to play Gran Turismo 7 until I have a wheel worth it. Oh, is waiting to play Gran Turismo 7 until I have a wheel worth it. Dude, listen. Because of the generosity of the cat, so when I told you guys that I wanted to buy a rig and a wheel for Gran Turismo, I got the whole setup. So I got the racing chair, the pedals, the wheel, shifter, everything. And I have not used it since I stopped playing Gran Turismo 7, and I still think it was the best thing I've ever bought outside of my PSVR2. Highly recommended, especially with Galaxy cards going to be using the wheel. If we get any more racing games, dude, it just absolutely, the immersion is stellar. Highly recommended.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you can enjoy it with the dual sense, then
it's okay.
Sure, then why not? But if you enjoy it with the DualSense, like maybe you don't even maybe need to spend the money on a wheel if you don't have the money for it. But yeah, if you can, then yeah, just get it because it's amazing.
Austin Claybot joined the level 1 membership. Thank you so much, man. You've been incredibly generous this evening. Much love. Macho, the real estate procrastinating Gamecat with the $5 tip says, yeah, too bad I can't get my motherfucking refund for Firewall. Way too expensive, too. I like when people put MF and I just have to tell the world what they really meant. Motherfucking refund. Yeah, dude. I would get refunds for so many games at this point. Not PSVR2 games. I mean, a couple PSVR2 games, but yeah, not many. A lot of games in general, though. Yep. I want to play Cyberpunk now. That's good. I heard Cyberpunk has gotten fucking incredible, and that new DLC is crazy good. Dude, I'm starting to think as far as current gen stuff goes, what I want in VR more than anything else might be Cyberpunk.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Cyberpunk was my most anticipated game when it was. I was following that game before a lot of people. Like when it was just like a couple little articles and concepts being pitched about it. 2013, 2012, 2013.
I was a fan before anybody else. I liked them before they sold out.
Yeah, no, I was really, really excited about that game because I really wanted a Cyberpunk game. And somebody asked me last week, I think, like what would be like a big mic drop moment for PSVR2 or something next year. And I was like, dude, Cyberpunk getting VR support would be, that's up there with Grand Theft Auto, and like, Gran Turismo, and that would be a huge move for that to happen. Yep,
absolutely. Talk about a No Man's Sky story, about a retribution story. Like this is a big deal. When this game came out, everyone's like, oh man, it's over for CD Projekt Red. They're never going to recover from this. No one's ever going to trust them again. Like, I mean, you heard it all. And now it's like nothing but universal praise, which is phenomenal. It's very cool.
It's great. I mean, it sucks that I had to go down like that, but I'm glad that they bounced back and people seem to really like the game. I mean, I hear about, starting the game fresh right now. It's like just complete different experience and stuff, but yeah, man.
Dude, Scott,
that'd be amazing.
Scott, the PSVR Gamecat for life says, I was following 27.7 when it was a board game called 2047.
Scott, okay, Scott might have me there because I definitely didn't care about it as a it was like a tabletop RPG, right? That's what it was originally based off of. But
you gonna play Spider-Man 2, AJ?
I don't think so. I don't really like the Spider-Man games. I don't know. I tried playing the first one. I know like everybody's playing it and like likes it. And so like I know like I'm probably losing some fans here.
Please send your hate mail to AJ at psvrunderground.com because I don't want to hear it.
I do think it looks really good though.
Yeah.
I think the second one looks really good, especially that it's got Venom in it. I was playing Spider-Man back in the day, Brian, before PlayStation.
I was playing it back when it was a Neversoft game.
I played it when it was a side-scrolling beat 'em up and was like the hardest game ever made.
I played Spider-Man games before they were good.
I'm too cool for it now. I think it looks good and all, but
interesting. I really expected this to just be getting rave reviews across the board, but I'm scrolling through. It looks like a lot of 8s, which is like, obviously a great score. I'll read through all these reviews later and see what the deal is. Oh, The Verge. The Verge has a great headline: Spider-Man 2 review. Twice the Spider-Man, twice the emo fun. I think I'm sold, AJ. I want twice the emo fun. All right, let's take a couple more tips, and then we'll play some 20 questions. We got fifth with the Australian $5 tip. The message has been retracted.
Did Does have another message here. It says, is Crossfire Sierra Squad the worst voice acting on VR2 so far?
Oh God, no.
It's pretty bad.
It's bad.
A lot of people really hate the Hubris voice acting, which I was surprised. I thought it was okay.
I understand people's complaints about hubris, whether it be the voice acting or whether they say the world feels empty or soulless or whatever. And I get all of that. I just had an amazing time with it.
It's a little generic.
It's a little generic, but but yeah, man, we've had some horrific voice acting. I think Ruins Magus is worse because it's just like the whiny,
oh God,
little
Ruins
girl
Magus.
voice that's just so ingrained in anime culture for some reason. It's just grating on you. I think most of the voice acting in that game is fine, but that girl's awful. I think Jesus, what else, man? We've had some really bad voice acting in games. That I don't think we're anywhere near. I think Crossfire sounds a lot like Time Crisis games. I think that's the same kind of interactions you had with people in Time Crisis, where it's just like these voiceovers that are, all right, let's move up, let's move ahead, blah blah blah. Watch it, whatever. It's nothing.
Kind of like Time Crisis and G.I. Joe.
Ooh, yeah, a little G.I. Joe. Yeah, good call. Maxwell RAT with the $2 tip says, accidentally deleted my 25-hour Cyberpunk save. No.
Ouch.
No. The question is, Maxwell, did you go back and do it again, or are you just like fucking done? That's the question. Because, I mean, it sounds like, dude, when the DLC came out, it sounds like a lot of people started the game over and just started from scratch and said, fuck it, I'm just going to play again.
Yeah, if it's like a game that's like couple hundred hours long, I think you could survive a 25-hour loss.
Yeah. Joel in the chat says, how much is Breachers going to cost? We just checked the Steam store and it's $30 over there. We can't imagine it's going to be much more than that. It's probably going to be pretty damn similar. I don't understand the PlayStation tax when things are like $5 more, like Gazler's was. It doesn't make sense because Steam takes the same amount as Meta does, as Sony does. They all take 30% if you're selling on their store, and so there shouldn't be a PlayStation tax. Although it does seem like it's a lot harder to get a game out on PlayStation, so it requires a lot of extra work in getting through certification and all of that. So maybe the developers are rewarding themselves a little bit for all the extra work they had to put in to get through certification. But A Dizzle with the Canadian 279 says they should hire TikTok girl for all game voices. Is TikTok girl a specific person? I'm not a TikTok person, so I have no fucking idea what's going on here.
I don't know. Asking the wrong person.
Should
Brian, you know what time it is?
Dude, is it time to Google TikTok girl just so that I end up on a list somewhere? Is it time for 20 questions?
It is time, Brian, for 20 questions, and I am today's host, and I have picked out a game. Whether it's going to be easy or hard remains up to you. Make sure you help Brian. You guys have...
It's up to me? Easy. I choose easy. You chose wisely.
Chose poorly.
I always choose poorly. No. Oh my God. All right. Yeah, guys, I'm going to need all the help I possibly can get because I am terrible at this. And if it's... Dude, let's be honest. You're really playing against Looper, the Gamecat.
Yeah, that's true.
If Looper takes a day off,
be pretty easy then.
If Looper takes a day off from the show, no one's going to win 20 questions. So
this is either going to be really easy or really difficult,
or somewhere in the middle.
Yep. That's right.
All right, man. Here we go. Everybody, help me out. On your mark, get Des, go. Oh, go. There we go. Is this game on PSVR 1? Start with the easy one.
Yes.
Is this game also on PSVR 2?
No.
Okay. PSVR 1 only. Is it on other headsets?
No.
Oh, so it is a PSVR exclusive, you guys. PSVR 1 exclusive. Okay, that narrows it down considerably. Is it a first party exclusive?
Yes.
Okay. We are killing it, you guys. Okay, let's think about first party exclusives, you guys. It's Blood and Truth, Astrobot, Gran Turismo, Sport, Drive Club. Okay, let's eliminate a couple racing games. Is it a racing game? Do you drive cars in this?
You do not drive cars in this, I don't think. That's 5.
Okay. Okay, Looper's asking if it's a launch title. Don't answer that yet. What PlayStation first party games were at launch? I can't think of any first party games that they had at launch. Damn. I'm going to go with Chrome Colossus. Does it have a creative aspect? And let me specify, can you make your own creations in this?
You cannot make your own creations in this.
Okay, so no UGC. Right. Was this game ever on the flat screen?
No, this game was never on the flat screen.
All right, you guys, not Wipeout either. All right. Do you do a lot of shooting of guns in this game? Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, I'd say you can do a lot of shooting in this game.
You can do. Okay. Is this game on rails? Do you have? Do they take away control of locomotion?
It's got both. It's got some rails and some not on rails.
Okay.
It's a hybrid.
Ooh, early hybrid game.
Yes.
Okay, it can't be Blood and Truth, Matthew Longo, because that is all on rails. It is. Is this a collection of games?
It is possibly a collection of games.
And somebody suggested VR Worlds super early on in this, and I was like, no, AJ wouldn't do that. Is one of the games in this collection the prequel to Blood and Truth?
One of the games in this collection, I don't know if I call it a prequel.
Is one of the games in this collection the London Heist?
It's not really connected directly to Blood and Truth. So I'd say no, it's not an actual prequel.
Yeah.
It's not a prequel per se.
When you're in the menu screen
That's
in this
11.
game, do you ejaculate?
I mean, I don't ejaculate per se.
I mean, I'm not saying like voluntarily. I just feel like it's an automatic response to being in the coolest menu screen ever made.
It is.
AJ,
it is a cool menu, but hold on, Brian.
Oh God,
it is a cool menu, but just keep in mind the demo. The demo has a really good home screen, so don't get that confused. And remember, demos count, right? I'm just trying to help you out here.
AJ, is this PlayStation VR Worlds?
This is PlayStation VR Worlds, made by Sony London Studio, Sony Interactive Entertainment, published, released 10/10/2016 is what it says. Yeah, it is a collection of games. It features the London Heist, which inspired the creation of Blood and Truth. Really good stuff. And yes, the main menu is amazing, and I'm still disappointed to this day that, PSVR2. I'm not disappointed, but wouldn't it be cool if the PlayStation VR2 booted up and was something like that at the home screen? I mean, come on.
Yep.
Good job. Good job. I think I saw Scott Jestico say PSVR Worlds first. He actually got it, but somebody got it before Looper.
The $40 demo disc that we all had to pay for.
Yeah.
At the time, it felt like a kind of a ripoff, but man, like then I got into Scavenger's Odyssey, which was great. Like it felt like it was going to be a full-fledged game, even though it only took like an hour and a half to beat. And then the London Heist was like, yeah, why we really need a full game of this when Blood and Truth got announced, and that's what it turned out to be. We're like, holy shit, like they're actually delivering on this. VR Luge can suck it. I thought that was so lame. It never gave me the immersion that I wanted. And what was the other one? Ocean's Descent.
Danger Ball and Ocean's Descent.
Yeah, pretend Danger Ball doesn't exist.
It's actually pretty good.
It's all right.
A lot of this stuff is like a lot of VR stuff. It's kind of like when it comes out, I guess, I don't know if the expectations or what, but you kind of like revisit it, and like, that's what happened with VR Worlds. Like I revisited a lot of it, and I'm like, a lot of this is actually pretty good. Like, I don't know why this didn't impress at launch as much, but I feel like it's better than it got credit for, at least.
Ocean's Descent was great. I think that was the thing that sold a lot of people on VR. They would put their family members in it and shit. It was great. All right, you guys, thank you all so much for hanging out. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any tips before we move on. I was trying to shut down the show and ignore people that do not deserve to be ignored. Perfect. We're all caught up. AJ, thank you so much for being here. Anything happening on PSVR Underground these days? Anything that we should be on the lookout for?
I don't know. I've been giving a lot of love to the Patreon. Been doing a lot of stuff on there, which is cool. I really want to find some way to do more live streams because I really miss live streaming a bunch. Unfortunately, with it's great that we have review keys and stuff, but unfortunately, most of the time when we get review keys, the games are under embargo, so I can't live stream them. You know what I mean? And live streaming is kind of like my bread and butter. So, interactive chat is every single Thursday, somewhere around 6:30. Having lots of fun with that. Yeah, like I said, I would like to try and find time to live stream some stuff pretty soon. I would have live streamed Propagation Paradise Hotel, but you can't see anything.
Yeah. It's a little tough. Watching Miles made me. It was totally watchable, but it is disappointing because it looks so good in the headset, and the social screen does not portray that at all.
Yeah. I'm hoping. I was thinking maybe I could do like a spooky stream and then mess with the brightness and contrast settings and maybe get it a little clearer to be able to see what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, no, all is great. I'm having a great spooky season. And I hope you are too, and I hope everyone else is as well. Stuff's been awesome, man, and can't wait to share my opinion some more on what I've been playing very soon.
Oh yeah, same here, man. Same here. Ian Stanbridge in the chat says, remember to get your sad panda makeup ready, AJ. And Chrome Colossus.
I wanted to do the samurai pirate. That's my swordsman character. I combined the pirate and the samurai armor, and I was like, this is like the greatest thing ever. Like, and I wanted to make a Halloween costume out of it.
Chrome Colossus with a $2 tip. Has a skull emoji and a panda emoji and says, easily confused these. It's great. Austin Clayball with the $2 tip says, $1 to you both. Fantastic Gamecast for all. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for hanging out. Thank you to all the mods to help that make this channel run properly, and everybody who works tirelessly behind the scenes to make me, I don't know, help me keep me caffeinated. Guys, make sure you give a shout out to all the mods. Give a shout out to Rypop for getting stuff on podcast services. Sci-Fi Gamecat Henry for all the timestamps that he does for each and every show. Everybody supports the channel financially over on patreon.com/withoutparolegames. Everybody who's become a member over here, we appreciate you all. Everybody who tips during the show, you guys are keeping the pizza coming in. I appreciate it so very much. And everybody keeps us entertained while we try to keep you entertained. Everybody who helps out during 20 questions, and everybody who sits back and watches the show. Doesn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there. And we love you just as much. AJ, it's Monday.
Kill the motherfucking cat, bro, because I want to say see you guys on Wednesday to et.2k9.now. It says heart and beer bug clank. It says mod love. Give them love to the mods. That's right. Just like Johnny Ride popped the stray cat. Don't you don't have to give him too much love. Johnny's okay. We also got GC13, the Diet Pepsi cat, in the house tonight. She says, damn, missed 20 questions. Well, the game was Saints and Sinners. We could have used your help if you happen to know anything about it.
Unfortunately, no one knew anything about 20 questions, so I failed.
Gamecat Photo Nutter says, hit that like. Sci-Fi Gamecat Henry. Hello. Dude, a name I haven't said in a very long time. Ross Christofari says,
Nice.
just beat Gold Dust on expert mode in Audica. It's crazy how underrated that game is. Oh,
It's
man.
so
Scott, the PSVR Gamecat for Life. Great show to you, Scott. Great show to you. Well done. Well played, my friend. Ken Kiefer says, you've been playing No Man's Sky, AJ. We know. Yes, I know. I have been playing No Man's Sky as well, but I've also been playing new games. And whenever I get any free time, I play No Man's Sky. And it's amazing. Twitcher, the Juice Gamecat says, sexy ghost panda AJ incoming. You better believe it. Or something else that's not that.
Wow.
Prentice Summer Scales says, Scavenger's Odyssey was definitely a vomit comet moment for early PSVR 1. So many people must have needed a lie down after that shock to the system.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually didn't bother me at all.
AJ got over
But it
motion
made-
sickness before motion sickness was even a thing.
That's right, because we're just cool like that, bro.
Dude, I definitely suffered in Scavenger's Odyssey the first time I played it. I mean, because that was like launch day. And so I was surprised that when I went back to it, like, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months later or something like that, and was like, here we go. It was great. I love the sense of movement. I love the feeling I got. You know, it sent my stomach for a loop, but in a good way instead of a bad way. So I was very happy with it.
Mark Poppin Pringles Leaf, thank you so much, man. Chrome Colossus says, Scavenger's Odyssey made me so sick I was bedridden the following day. I had my VR legs. People scared me off from playing it for so long. They said it was bad, said it made you sick. I had my VR legs were so strong by the time I actually played it that I was like, hey, this is pretty good. Ross Christofari also says, it's maddening that our paid DLC in Beat Saber doesn't transfer to PS5. Why I won't get a PSVR 2 until I find it for half price.
Wait. He's saying
Beat Saber does.
Yeah, all
transfer.
All of my PS4 DLC for Beat Saber transfers over.
Just letting you know.
You got to go through a process though. Like you don't just turn it on. It was very strange. You had to go redeem it all again separately, and I recommend like being on the PC store to do that.
Yeah, it's a free upgrade, right, for the game and the DLC.
Free upgrade for the game and DLC, but it was horribly communicated and it was horribly implemented, so I can totally understand people's frustration.
Ian Stambridge says, remember to get your sad panda makeup ready, AJ. I will try to remember. Julia actually did that for me, so I'll make sure that she does it again. If I go with that, I don't know. Secrets of, cheers to you, my friend. Looper, the Underground Gamecat Elite Name Squad in the house. Salvador, peace out to you, my friend. Vencer says, VR Luge was pretty damn good and challenging once you get a hang of it. I hated it at the beginning. Yeah, I agree. Brian's just terrible at it, and it's a skill issue.
It was the drums rock before drums rock.
No, I mean, I'm with you. Like, it took me a while to kind of appreciate Luge, but yeah, it definitely wasn't anything special, but it was kind of cool. I think better than what it gets credit for. Ian Stambridge, Matthew Longo, Shadow XJ says, AJ, don't change. Keep giving your actual opinion. Thank you, my friend. I will do that, even if it leads to my inevitable demise.
Yeah, we make a lot of jokes about death on this show. Like, to the point where people are concerned. Like, just want to let everybody know.
We're doing okay.
You probably have good reason to be concerned. Good night, everybody. We love you all.
Wait, no. Hold on. Brian, you skipped this last week, you son of a bitch. What happened this day 2 years ago on GAMESCAST? I was so disappointed. I stayed Friday night. There was 300 of us, Brian, staying in the chat waiting to hear what happened. And we were there for like 30 minutes. By the way, I didn't realize you could keep chatting in the YouTube comments for like 30 minutes after the stream ends. But I did find out that night.
All right, we can, let's see. We want to get as close to today's date as we possibly can. So I'm going to go back into the archives and go back all the way back to tomorrow. All the way back to tomorrow. That was a long time ago, AJ. Tomorrow was a long time ago. This
October 17th.
October 17th, 2019.
2019. Let me think.
You know
October
what?
7th,
I think this is before we had
2019.
headlines, so I think this probably isn't going to go well. So hold on. Let's just see what it looks like. October 17th, 2019. Yeah, we didn't even have a headline. It was just like a collage of, I don't even know what the fuck that is. It's a lot of stuff I don't recognize, AJ. Are these games?
Can you describe something?
Nope.
Give me something. What's the title of the video?
No, nothing. I'm just pulling thumbnails from the archive, man. And so if it doesn't have a headline, I am just as lost as everyone else. So wait. I need a do-over.
Okay. What was on the picture?
Dude, I don't know, man. It's like, what was that Charm game? The one that they made after Form? You know what I mean? It was like the
Twilight
Path. I think Twilight Path is part of this. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's find another one. How about this one? PlayStation VR turns 5. Huge game in PSN gift card giveaway. As it turns out, AJ, we had nothing to talk about even 2 years ago. PlayStation VR turns 5, and even Sony didn't care.
So this is how you got to 100 subscribers. Let it be known. You paid people with PSN cards. You bribed them with PSN cards. And you're like, please subscribe.
When things were rough, we did what we had to do. Right. We had nothing to talk about.
You needed the money.
So come get something for free. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. We love you all so very much. Enjoy your evening. Good night.
Go play Propagation.
Yes. Good night.